Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Talk That Talk Tuesday, man. I'm so glad you guys are here. Hey, listen, it's about to go down tonight. Is there such a thing as privacy in marriage? We're going to break that thing down in so many different ways, and so I'm glad you guys are here. First, I want to make sure that I bring everybody up here. Now, I see that Let Me Expound Media is in the building tonight. What's going on? What's going on? All right. So first of all, I want to bring up my brother from another mother. Mr. Bennett is in the building tonight. All right. I'd like to say good to have you in the building tonight, Mr. Bennett.
Good to be here. Thank
you. All right. All right. And then we have JT from What We Know Podcast is in the building tonight.
What's up?
All the way from Bam, Bama. Give it up for yours truly. Mandrell is in the building tonight. And last but not least, right now, the last but very much not least, if you haven't heard this lady, if you have not been on her platform, if you have not heard her speak, you are missing out on a treat. Let's give it up for Lady Di is in the building tonight. What's going on? What's going on? So first, you know how I like to start off. I want to make sure that I know how everybody's doing. So we'll start with you first, Lady Di, and then JT, uninterrupted, Mr. Bennett, then Mandrell. Tell me how's the family? How are you doing? How's everything going in your life? Go ahead.
Everything is going good. Just very busy. So I'm trying to pace myself so I don't get super overwhelmed. But other than that, it's going great. I love, doing this YouTube thing and, reaching the people and, expressing things that we need to talk about that most people are not comfortable to talk about. So this is something good.
All right. Thank you so much. JT, what's going on, my brother?
Hey, what's happening, man? What's going on, man? Everything is doing well, bro. It's good. We out here enjoying this 11 degrees weather in Michigan.
Ooh.
Yeah, we showing what Michigan is made of. I ain't complaining. We can never complain over here. But everything is really good, man. My lady, she just made me this bomb turkey burger. I'm about to smash. So y'all gonna have
did you just lick your lips like this? Did you just?
I did. It's over here. I'm out here right now, man. Yes.
All right, man. Thank you for being here, man. And thank you, Nidra, for taking care of my boy. All right. So Mr. Bennett, how's everything going, man?
Everything is good. Everything is good. My wife is back. She spent the weekend in New Orleans. Am I saying that right? Is it New Orleans or New Orleans or New Orleans? Nolans. So she was in Nolans with her sister, her father, and my daughter. So they had spent some family time there. But she's back, and just good to have her home.
Was that her first time going?
Yes.
Oh, how was it for her?
It was okay. It was okay. I think she was missing me a little bit though. But yeah.
Oh, she missed it. Oh, come on, Mr. Bennett. Give it up for Mr. Bennett. All right, all the way from Bama. Mandrea, how you doing, man? How's everything doing? The smooth-faced criminal. What's going on, my brother?
Hey, everyone.
Yes, sir.
All right, man. So, guys, if you want to donate to the channel, man, you will see that I have Black Man Unfiltered rolling at the bottom of the screen. If you want to give a Cash App, do that. If you want to give a super chat, do that as well. But I will appreciate the likes, the shares, subscribe, just anything you want to do to help the channel in any way you want to will be great. All right. At the end of the show, I'll also allow the other content creators that are with us tonight to promote their shows as well. So I want to just hop right into this thing. Is there such thing as privacy in marriage? I'll get a yes and no from everybody, then we'll go into the conversation. Lady Di?
No.
Mm.
At all.
JT?
Yes.
Mr. Bennett?
Gosh. No with a caveat.
Okay. We'll get to that. Mandrell?
I say there are no secrets in a marriage, but there is privacy. Yes.
Okay. So can you expound, Lady Di, on why you said no?
Because if you are living with each other, right? I'm just throwing it out there, 24/7. You go to work or you don't. You work from home or you don't. You have kids or you don't. You still see this person every single day. Only privacy I could say that someone could have is when they use the bathroom, take a shower. Unless you guys take showers together, there are couples that do that. But the privacy I feel is when you're just not around, which is because it's forced. You have to go to work. So you're not together. That's privacy in a way. But
Mhm.
after all of that stuff is done, I don't see where the privacy is. Because if people are like staying in separate rooms to watch TV, right? Everything is done, and I'm gonna watch my sports over here, and she gonna watch her, shows on that side of the town. I mean, that's privacy, but I don't know if everybody's relationship is set up like that. I think that's division, in my opinion.
JT, you said yes. So why do you say your answer?
Yeah, when it comes down to just we have a life together, but we also have a life apart from each other also. So, a creative space, we have it could be down to sports or whatever it is that she likes or something like that. It's not like Mandrell, I think somebody said, it's not secrecy. It's just a privacy. Now, if it was with kids and stuff like that, it'd be something different. I had a life like that, so it wasn't really too much privacy you can get. It has to be forced. But when you at a level where I'm at right now, we have a balance with that. So she has her space where she just has her privacy, just like what I'm doing right now. She don't bother me. It is what it is. And it's the same thing that goes for her, vice versa.
All right. So, Brother Hink, so I'm glad you're here, man. Thank you for being here tonight. Is there such a thing as privacy in marriage, Brother Hink?
No.
And can you explain why?
Shit. Self-explanatory in my house. I mean, shit. Everything gonna be up front. We're gonna know everything, all things and everything. I tell cats all the time, you find that right woman, you pour into her, you let her know. Especially if you bless it, a woman's good enough to be blessed with your last name, she needs to know everything, all things. Because if in case something happens, because something goes wrong, she needs to know how to take care of things. My last wishes, my expectations for my funeral arrangements. I know it's kind of morbid to talk about stuff like this, but guys, we eventually all gonna meet our maker. So we got to do what we got to do. So she needs to know the accounts, passwords. I'm all for one pot, so that's no longer the vision. Now, I know I was listening to JT was talking about personal time. Yeah, okay, I get that, but she knows where I'm at. I have no problem with telling I'm where I'm at and where I'm going to be, how I'm going to move. But I'm also the type guy, I don't believe in girls trips. We talked the other day, and one of her friends invited on a girls trip. I said, there's not much. Hey, put it on me. I wear the black hat. Well, I can't go because my man said I can't go. That's cool. I can accept that. Put the blame on me. I will. I eat that. You understand what I'm saying? So no, there's no privacy to me. She's going to know everything and all things, like I said, because she earned that right. If she's got my last name, she earned that right to know these things. So I'm gonna be vulnerable with her. I'm gonna be upfront with her. And I'm gonna be candid with her, and I'm gonna share everything. She might not like some of the things she hears, but this is what it is. This is who I am. This is what you get. And if you can't handle it, please let me know.
All right. So, Mr. Bennett.
I think generally, I don't think there should be privacy in regards to the things that grow and foster your relationship. So I think anything that could affect our relationship, it could be past traumas or family histories or what have you. I think if that could be an impact on our marriage, and I think that's something that we need to be honest and transparent about. But at the same time, I've never been a dumpster diver, and neither has been my wife. I'm not looking for a problem. So I may ask my wife something. I expect her to be honest with me, but I'm not trying to get into areas that really don't impact. I'm also good about relationships I have outside of my marriage. And what I mean by that is, I knew guys I've mentored, guys I've spoken to, they've shared some very personal, intimate things with me. And there have been times when my wife, she may ask about, well, how to go with so-and-so. And I'll just tell her straight up, that's between me and him. Because they're trusting me with that. And again, unless it's something that impacts my marriage, then my wife doesn't have to know that. And likewise, she'll be on the phone for hours talking with a friend of hers or whatever, having caught up for a while. They may go over some very personal things. I may even see my wife. She may have some red eyes just from sharing some of the things that is going through. I'll leave it up to her if she wants to share any of that with me, but I'm not going to drag it out. What does she say? I mean, because again, that's their conversation. And so again, as long as it's not going to be something that's going to impact this household and our kids, I think that, those are areas I just don't trample on. So generally, I think there shouldn't be privacy, as Hank was saying. You should know all the codes, all the passwords, all the codes, the account numbers, everything that, again, because that's part of the marriage. But outside of that, her family history, do I know everything about her family? No. And I don't know if I ever will. And like I said, quite frankly, I'm not necessarily asking for it. So I certainly think there's some areas there where, I don't have to know every single thing. But, there are those areas. So that's why I said generally no, but there are nuances like some of the ones I mentioned, just as examples. And I can think of some others, but just to move the conversation forward.
All right, Mandrell.
Yeah, like I said earlier, there should be no secrets in a marriage, but privacy, yeah, because you got to give that person space to be themselves as well. You know what I mean? You don't want someone to get lost in the sauce and get caught up in the hustle and bustle and forget who they are. I agree with Hank. What Hank is talking about is secrets. There should be no secrets. Like, it means funeral arrangements, bank account numbers, your social security number. Yeah, I need all of that. And she's going to need all that from me, But those are, if they withhold that, those are more secrets as opposed to privacy. Privacy is like Mr. Bennett gave an example of when his wife is on the phone. Why does he care what she's talking about? You know what I'm saying? You don't go digging for problems. So that's privacy. Let her have her conversation with her family members, because her family members may be telling her something in confidence that they may not necessarily want you to know. Just like your friends tell you something in confidence, you may not want them to tell someone your business as well. So that's what I mean by, yes, there is privacy. There should be privacy in marriage, so that person can have their own relationships with other people. But secrets in a marriage, no, not at all.
All right. Now, my next question would be about cell phones. Should you have a security locks on your cell phone that your spouse does not know? Would you consider that privacy? We'll start with you, Lady Di.
So if you're like top secret, that's your job, security clearance type of field where your phone is locked and secured for reasons where if someone finds out, it could put the, home in danger, then sure. But like, just to lock it for what? Because you don't want me to see the selfie you took earlier or, some silly stuff. I don't see why it should be locked. Now, am I going to go snooping around looking in your phone to find something? No. But if something is secured on the phone, I feel like it's something that wants to be hidden from me. And if there's no clear reason why, then I'm going to think something, is going on in any situation. I'm not sure what, but something's going on. And I wouldn't like that. I think that that's not being open. And we're married, so we all should be open and honest.
JT? You're saying a lot of good stuff, dude. I just can't hear it.
Repeat the question again.
So when it comes to cell phones, should your phones be unlocked with no security from your spouse?
Absolutely not. You have to have that. It should never be a problem anyway when it comes to that. If we're talking about from your spouse, then that's adolescent problems. You know what I'm saying? You got problems with all kind of other stuff. I'm not in that space anymore, so I don't even know how to even, and I ain't been there in a long time. So anybody that I've dated or whatever, it's not even a question, because it was just dating. When I was married, I didn't care nothing about if you went through my phone or whatever. If you find something that you didn't like, that was on you. It's just because I still think that is being dishonest too. To go in somebody's, personal space. That's being in somebody's personal space. So, just to go in, and I think it's disrespectful just to go in somebody's phone, especially nowadays. I think it's just disrespectful to do something like that. It's like her going in my wallet, Now, if we had something else going on as far as like something when it comes down to something happened to me or something happened to her, we should already have those, passwords or whatever it is that we have so we can have these things unlocked. Unfortunately, there are a lot of couples that don't have any of this stuff together. So it causes trouble. It causes major trouble if they are to a point where they can't speak or they're dead, So, yeah. I think that they should at least have the password or, a security code where they can get in case something happens. Some type of protocol.
Okay. Hank, what are your thoughts?
So you said, should we have your spouse have a password to your phone? Is that what you said?
Oh, yes, sir.
Yeah. As long as it's my wife. Again, man, if I'm a blessed with a last name, she's gonna know everything. So it's not gonna be something she doesn't know. Yeah, I don't understand any of it. That makes no sense to me. Because, what I'm gonna do with my phone, you're gonna have access to it anyway. You're gonna know if I'm gonna texting somebody, how many times I'm making certain calls, because your name's gonna be on the same bill mine is. You'll have same access to that. Now, if you're looking for certain messages, you look for them. Go ahead and look. Now, you might not like what some of the pictures I'll be like, bigass.com. You might not like that. I'm going to let you know right now, I love big ass. So if you see me hitting that heart on IG, don't be mad at me.
Oh.
It's my nature.
Did you tell her that she was gonna be doing that? Like, you let her know, or she just gonna find out?
Oh, she's just gonna find out. I ain't gonna just volunteer the information, but I'm not gonna hide it from her either.
What's the name of the website?
Bigass.com.
Not only did you put a heart on there, but you comment a heart on there too.
Oh, Mr. Bennett, come on, Mr. Bennett.
Oh man. Short answer, no. And for us, it's just practical because we are notorious for misplacing our phones or taking someone else's phone or whatever. She's got mine, I got it. Because usually when we upgrade phones, we upgrade at the same time. So we both got iPhone 13s or whatever. So it's like, oh, I got your phone. So it would be difficult if I don't have access to use the phone to say, hey, I got your phone, and we'll swap phones at a different time or whatever. So it's just practical for us. No secrets. I got the face, I got the face facial recognition on there and all that. It's still big. Still a big thing for us. Because again, one, we have nothing to hide, but at the same time, again, I'm not looking, and the way my wife process, like my phone is like very organized. I have all my apps and groups and very structured. Her stuff is all over the place. Like if I'm looking for the phone app or whatever, or the texting, I got to go through 5-6 screens to find it. In her way of thinking, she knows where everything is, So I'm like, I don't even want to look over there and see what she's got going on. But no, but for us, it's not a big deal at all.
Okay, Mandrill.
In a marriage, yeah, your spouse should have access code to your phone, definitely. Because again, in my opinion, there should be no secrets in a marriage. So you lock your phone. You want to lock your phone just to keep other people from nosing through your stuff. Cool, go ahead. I mean, that's why you should have a lock on your phone. But your spouse should also know that access code. Your spouse should know everything. And I do mean everything about you personally. But I also disagree with people who go around looking at people's phones, spouse or not. That's I mean, what are you doing? That's an invasion of privacy. That's why I say yes, there should be privacy in a marriage, but no secrets. So the answer is yes. You should have the access code to your spouse's phone.
Now let me ask this question to y'all. We can just have a brief conversation. Just what percentage of couples do you think right now, if you walked up to a couple and said, you know what, y'all switch phones for a day? How many couples do you think will be comfortable doing that in today's times?
1%.
I'll be generous. I'll say half. I'll be generous. Half.
That's awfully generous. I'll say about much you give tied into the good Lord, 10%.
Queen Smile.
I say about a hot 30.
Because if you, even married couples, if you say, you know what, I'll give you guys $50,000 if you just switch phones for one day, 24 hours, full access, contacts, messages, DMs, everything. How many divorces do you think would happen from that?
Well, I think first thing is they probably trying to compromise. Hey, give me about 20 to 30 minutes. So
right.
Erase.
Yeah. You know,
they just gonna hit a whole factory reset. Factory.
How many
reset.
divorces would take place? That'll be like Hank. The tithe, 10%. We get divorced from that.
Yeah.
I don't think it'd be a very high number, but I say 10%.
Because I saw a guy on YouTube going around asking women and married couples in the store, hey, are you guys married? They be like, yeah, I'm married. He said, okay, I'll give you $100 right now if you give your phone, open your DMs up and give your phone to your husband. And 90% of those women said, why? No, that's not privacy. For what? No. No, he don't need to see that. They turn that quick 100 down. So
if it was more than 100, I'm pretty sure someone would have passed it off.
It's usually the dude. It used to be the dudes that was like that.
It is switched up now.
The women.
Yeah, and he's he caught one, like a couple of that guy's videos went viral. He caught one dude actually caught his lady cheating on him because of that.
Yep.
I mean, like he is. Hey, who is this? Like, give me the phone. Who is it? That ain't nobody. No, he's sitting there reading the messages and stuff. I was like,
yeah, it's like 85% of dudes, their DMs are dry. You know what I'm saying? It's like a desert in theirs. But with the women, it don't matter who she is. She got a couple of people in them DMs.
Yeah, especially if she's taking pictures like this all day. And with them titties out. Oh,
but then
yes.
How can her DM be so hot and the guy's dry? The guy's got to be hitting up somebody.
No, the guys. The thing is, the thing is with the ladies, a lot of guys will hit up the lady, right?
Yeah.
Like a lot of different dudes will hit up the lady in their DMs, right? But with guys, women typically don't come on to guys like that. Typically. So that's why
there are a lot of thirsty women nowadays.
There are a lot of thirsty women. That's true. But it doesn't happen to as many guys as you think, though.
Yeah.
That's the thing. It doesn't happen to as many men as you may think. So the vast majority of men, that's not happening to.
Yeah. I saw a girl, I know her DMs are about to blow up. I saw a girl on Instagram that says, man, I don't have no man. I just feel like giving some head tonight. Any takers? Can you imagine what her DMs look like tonight?
Right. So the likes is on fleek. Do they still use that word?
No.
I don't know what they use to say.
My daughter say on the fleek tip. They be like, no, that ain't.
No, JT.
It's cool.
I still use my girls. They put it into me. I never got it out.
I talked about this on the show Sunday, man. My friend Lady Di was on there with me, and we was talking about cheating and what is considered cheating. And everybody was saying pretty much, as long, some type of sexual interaction and contact. But I was saying, I said, well, cheating is also them inappropriate conversations that some of these ladies have, at their work, not as well as on social media. So that's all a form of that cheating. So again, when the tell it back on or connected with privacy, yeah, I mean, I have no problem if you feel like you need to check my phone and check my DM. I have no problem with that. If that's going to make you feel secure, if that's going to make you feel better and at ease and put you in comfort, I ain't got no problem with that. But please know, when the rabbit got the gun,
ain't no
I
fun.
need to do the same damn thing. Should be no question.
Hank, would that bother you if it happens on a regular basis? Like, is there like a limit? Like, if she's checking every month or every once in a while?
Now, if it like, oh, I'm sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off.
No, that's my question. It's like, is the frequency of it? Would that
that'll be a problem for me? Because now I'm saying, look here, this insecurity is killing me. We need to work on this. You need to get this together now. I mean, every week, every other week, you know what I'm saying? Every other month, once a month. No, we now come on now. Once a year, okay, I give that to you. But also, and I'm asking you, am I doing something to make you feel like you need to check? You know, those questions you need to ask. You know, there's nothing wrong. Like I said, I always ask a tough question, even to your wife. If there's something wrong or something, you know, you need to get some answers to. You know, ask them tough questions. And if she's, you know, like you said, frequently asking me, Mr. Bennett, yeah, I'm saying, man, baby, what's going on here? I mean, am I moving in a certain way that makes you feel like that you think I'm doing something wrong? And if it is, then maybe I need to switch the game up.
Now, let me ask this question then. Would you consider it privacy if she's messaging her male friends from work?
Oh, that's a problem for me.
You said, is it privacy?
Yeah, would you consider that privacy?
No, hell no.
No, because what are they talking about? Unless it's work related and you didn't submit this document, or you know, we need this by tomorrow type of conversation. What are you talking about? There's nothing to talk about outside of work.
No, and it should be in a formal email. It should be in a work. If you don't work
it should
stuff,
be in no
it better be on the work phone. It better be a work email. Or if it's a text, it better be a group text. It better not be just you and him. It better be you, him, supervisor, manager, director.
It should be about 6 other people being CC'd.
Custodian, custodian got to get this. The mayor,
the whole unit. Matter of fact,
everybody gonna get it.
Company-wide email.
Blind copy. You better blind copy me if it's a problem. We're not doing this shit.
Hank, what if he's a supervisor that she's texting? What if it is?
It definitely should be in a form of email.
If it's the supervisor again, why is it not on email? Because if I'm
why are you texting
this? It's I need some type of paper trail.
Right. Why is your CC box dry?
Ooh. And then I was gonna
business is different. But if you literally talking to Wayne, Black man, if you're literally talking about private, inappropriate messaging at work to your supervisor, that's one thing. But business has to be done, and so that's one thing. But if you're talking about having an inappropriate conversation, then of course that shouldn't be done at work at all. First off,
but still the question is, regards to that conversation, could you share that with? Because I work with email.
Yeah, if it's just totally business, then yeah.
It's like, look, here it is. So as long as you feel comfortable still sharing that, I don't see necessarily an issue with that either.
But what's the
problem is why don't I know anyway? If there's an issue at work, I should know. Even if it's a business issue, your man should know.
So you telling me if your woman.
I'll go ahead.
So you talking about something affecting you, or you just talking about just regular conversation? So say for instance, your woman gets a text message from her supervisor who's a male, and it's literally just work related. Okay, what's up, Freezy? And so it's literally just work related, and he's just saying, hey, we got this going on at the office, and we need you to either come in or something has to be taken care of. So you mean to tell me your woman has to put you on notice for that?
Because she's going to be affected by that. If she has to come in,
but she got to go to work anyway. So how?
Well, hold on. You sound like she was off, and all of a sudden maybe they need to come in early.
But if you're saying this has to happen for work related, like.
So if your man,
because I'm gonna ask the question. Well, why do you need to come in? What's going on? I'm gonna inquire regardless. Why didn't they need you come in on a Saturday?
Now, if that's the case, I get those
you're
questions.
in IT, you may have to come in on a Saturday,
and that's cool.
Depends on your.
But the question still needs to be asked: why? They couldn't call nobody else. Y'all got more? Do y'all have a call-in list? Do y'all go by seniority? I mean, do y'all have where y'all rotate? And we know on IT, most time they rotate. They got more than just one IT guy, unless they're a small company. Now, if that's the case, that's a totally different story. But you may always be on call, right? And I understand that. But doesn't mean if your man or your wife asks a question, you shouldn't be hesitating to give the answer.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Yeah. I think all those things can take place, but as long as you can justify to show, look, here it is. It's like to Mangel's point, privacy but no secrecy. So again, if you're asked.
So what about privacy with male friends before you knew her? So say, for instance, she had this male guy friend for 15 years. Hink, and y'all get married. And she say, Hink, Danny, that's my friend for 15 years, baby. I don't want you to see what we talking about because what we talk about is private. What is your response to that?
I'm going to say good luck to you and him.
I knew it. I was looking at your face like he ain't having that.
Good luck to you and him. Wow. I mean, look, these are scenarios I had to go over. These are scenarios I had to deal with.
Yeah, you do.
So please believe I'm not lying when I say it's what I say and what I do. I walk it like I talk it. No, we're not doing this shit. My lady had a mentor, a male mentor, older mentor. I told her ahead of time, I said, look, his intentions are not right. He's not pure. One day, guess what? He tried to come on to her, because she's been talking to him, sharing with him how she's been going through up and down. Yeah, I told you. And so now when I get in the picture, this ain't going to keep with this. This is done. We're done with this.
So in your eyes, for men, the advice you're giving men is that even if she got a friend before she knew you, and friends at work and guys at work, all that is done.
Look, if it ain't done, I better know him. I better know him, and we gonna have a conversation, and he gonna get to know me, and he gonna know my standards, what I expect. Now you can be a big brother too. You watch over, make sure she's in line. I ain't got no problem with that, but don't you get out of line. That's an issue.
And that's what I wanted to say. Like, so for example, let's say I have a friend, right, that I've known for years, way before my husband. So as me being a respectable woman, respectable wife, I wouldn't say entertain. I don't have many conversations with him as I used to do, right? I used to have. It's very like, sometimes we'll speak, right? Not all the time or like once a week. That's too much. I make sure that the man I'm speaking to unless it's business, like you guys are saying, if it's not business or work, I don't really have regular conversations with the opposite sex is what I'm trying to say. Because it's entertaining, especially if the person is single. It's entertaining a certain space in their head that she's always available for me, right? And then, sometimes it'll bring off the wrong message, especially if you're like really nice and sweet. It's going to bring off the wrong message to that person. And then you never know, he or she could make a move because you're entertaining them so much. So it has to be a level of space, I'm saying, that you have with them. Can you be friends with them still? I don't see why not. As long as it's not, like I said, y'all talking on a daily damn basis. The only person you should be talking more. If it ain't your family, you should be talking more to your spouse. Not entertaining everybody in between, as far as the opposite sex, everybody in between. So it just has to be respect because things do happen. People are going to be emotional, especially women. Oh, this wasn't good this week. And they're going to be talking to that best friend, telling him or, her both, all these different things, having this person try to solve your issues when that's the wrong way to go because, oh, that's my best friend. But when you get married, all of that stuff need to go out the window. Can you be friends? I say yes, you can, just in a certain space.
Can I say this? If it's just my humble opinion, if you get married and your wife isn't your everything, and your husband isn't your everything, something is wrong. And when you operate in a fashion where you allow your wife to have the same friends she had before she met you, even just like Lady Di saying, every now and then, it's not every day, but every now and then you check in with him. To me, even that's dangerous territory, because if my wife did that, I'm going to use that as an excuse to do that too. Listen, you doing it, I can do it too. And see, what we're doing is you're leaving the door open for temptation. Everybody's human. Everybody's human, but let's just be real. You're going to get into arguments. You know, down the line, you might say something you might regret. And then, you know, people get into these spiteful spirits. You need to work that out between each other. We don't need no confidants outside of this house. No, we got to, just like my grandma used to tell me, you got to learn how to work that shit out between you two, baby. That's it. You got married. It's over with. You two are one. So, you know, some women try to use it. When I talk like that, some women have tried to use it against me, as try to call me insecure. Oh, you just insecure because
Right.
you know,
That's the excuse. Mm-hmm.
yeah, you know, you're not comfortable with your wife being in other men's presence, and you know, that's something within yourself. You're insecure within yourself. No, I'm not insecure within myself. That's my wife. And I'm going to do what's in our best interest. Like, ain't no way in hell another dude gonna have better answers than the main guy she married. How in the hell another guy gonna have better answers than me? I know I done dropped the ball in. I know I'm slipping. And that's I'm gonna tell you something. Women the baby boomers did it all the time with pastor such and such. They always use that excuse to get close to the pastor, all to override their husband's dictatorship.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying? And that's not right. Your husband is when you get married, the Bible says you need to first check in with your husband first before anything. You need to learn from your husband, not from the pastor. You need to learn from your husband. That's why I be telling women, did you know who you was marrying? You might not have did a good job marrying the right person. This is where people have complications, because they don't marry the right people for them. This is why we run into complications. This is why people want to keep their bosom buddies, because they're not, they're not secure with the person that they married. You need to first be secure with the person that you married going forward. And if you are, you should have no need to keep this other dude around. Damn that other dude. It's over with. You know what I'm saying? That's just my opinion, though.
Yeah. Because a lot of women do feel. I want to ask the ladies' perspective on that before we move forward. Like, what is your perspective on having, because Lady Di, I know you're married, right?
Mm-hmm.
What is your perspective on a wife having male friends?
She shouldn't have male friends. Like I said, business, work is only male friends she could have, but it needs to be in the lines of that. And then even with that, you still got to be careful, because there's work husbands, right? Women have them work husbands. They desire a type of man, and I'm just talking about looks. They desire a type of man that they may not have at home. So she gonna see it when she go to work, though, or she gonna see it when she going shopping. So those type of things, I think women definitely need to be aware of, and don't use other men to help you with some things that you need to be talking to with your husband. It's just a way out. So, respect, as long as so to me, it depends on what the husband feels, because some husband might not care. As long as they know what's going on. And then you have husbands that's like, no, you got to get rid of that. So I think that both of the couples need to be in a line with each other. And then when you are in a line with each other and your husband says, oh, it's not that big of a deal, I think he's a respectable guy, you still don't need to talk to him as much. You got to have that boundary, because if that is, and I'm talking about single people, you got to have the boundary, because there's nothing that you and that man should be talking about on a personal note, unless it's you and your man. And it's not no disrespect to that man. It's just respect to your husband, because that's who you married to. So it might sound weird to some women, and they're like, well, I knew him before. Matter of fact, I knew him longer, because some women know their friends longer than their husband. And that's fine, but you ain't marry him, did you? All right, cool. So make sure you spend most of your time with your husband, and not with this friend, best friend, or whatever. Best friends are normally within a marriage, not outside of that in the opposite sex. So,
but see, they can't use that on me either. When they say, "Oh, I knew him longer," you can't use that on me. I knew a lot of people longer than you. Shit, I knew my third grade teacher longer than you. That don't mean shit. You know what I'm saying? Like, who cares if I don't care if you knew him longer. That doesn't mean you should have married him then. Why in the hell you married me? Since you want to, I'm saying, you factoring in this longer stuff. That don't got nothing to do with the tea and China.
We don't have to limit this to men, though, because to your point, Freezy, your dad is going to know you longer than you, right?
Thank you.
So, but again, in marriage, at least in spiritually, the father gives the bride to the man, and they become one flesh. So it doesn't matter whether or not they that you know for long. Your daddy knew you since you were born, but still there's a transfer. But I think this applies to everybody. We talk about males, but even female friends or guy friends. There are some borders, some barriers. And, if you still have some single friends, female friends, when you get married, they need to know some parameters also. That, hey, there's certain things that we used to talk about everything, and everything was on the table. It's like, no, this chapter of my life with you is closed. This is not open for us to be talking about in this measure. So everybody has to change. You have to change how you interact with everybody in that situation. And I think you really know who your true friends are, because you really shouldn't have to explain that to them. You know who your true friends are. It's like, okay, she's married now, so I know I can't be calling her, male, female, whoever it is. I know I can't be rocking with her at a certain time of night because she's probably with her man. So I already know that already. So again, how they respond is an indication of truly who your friends really are, or those who just really want to just want to be hangers on and just be all up in your business.
And Mr. Bennett, let's be honest. Let's just address the elephant in the room. What if the dude look better than me? What if the dude got a six pipe with, he's 6'5" and I ain't going for that shit.
That's irrelevant though, Freezy. That's not very relevant. Yeah,
y'all don't want to be real.
No, okay, I'm being real.
That's not irrelevant. That's the truth.
No, Mandrea, think about it, Mandrea.
Wait.
Maybe Freezy, you asked the question, and why you marry him?
No, my thing is that look. Okay. Here's the thing. Like, if she's had those friends before you, all right. Now, here's what with Hank. I need to be friends with him too. Okay. And there's no secrets and all that. No, like I said, in marriage, there's no secrets.
I don't trust that shit either.
Which means before the marriage, there's no secrets. If you got male friends, I need to be friends with them too. Listen. As far as I'm looking at better than me, I'm not insecure about stuff like that. The thing is, I'm born with what I'm born with, and I do
but it ain't got
the best of what I got.
That ain't got nothing to do with you.
Right.
They ain't got nothing to do with you. You know
what I'm saying? My thing is, if you got these many questions and you suspect her like this, why did you marry her?
Because everybody human, right? Like, just because I married my wife doesn't mean my wife is invincible. I know my wife is capable of making mistakes. Nobody's perfect, bro. Nobody is Jesus. Nobody. At any given time in my marriage,
come on, Sir Hill.
It can get that bad when my wife, she does something where she at the point of no return. I'm just being real. Like, when we try to paint our significant others as this, I know she won't do that. You're lying. You're lying to yourself.
Yeah, that's true.
You don't know nobody but yourself. You don't know what nobody will do but you. That's it. That's the only person you're accountable for.
And you know what, man? I heard Cheeky Banter say something the other day. Cheeky Banter say, we out here getting on these single women for being whores. He said, but some of the biggest whores win the rings.
Yeah, I was gonna say, so like, so to Sir Hale's point, so let's say you have a good woman and then she's pretty, right?
Yeah.
Those many men are gonna know she's a good woman, and obviously she's pretty. That's known.
Exactly. So, she's a target.
If any man, I mean, you do what you do in your business, but if any man allows a woman to literally have meaningless conversations with another opposite sex, it's leading to disaster one day. It may not be that year, the second year, but imagine she's getting to know him like she already know you. So her relationship is getting stronger with him. Her relationship is getting stronger with you. So now she gaining not just one best friend, which is you, but she gaining him too. That's inappropriate to me. I think that's really disrespectful. Even though, let's say, the person's intentions may not be to be, I'm gonna take her from him. That's not what the point is. It's just like what No Captivity said. People are gonna make mistakes, and this man might grow to love this woman. That's the reality of it, because it's like he can't even resist because she's so good to him, right? Because she's gonna be respectable. There's no need for her to be disrespectful. So it's just leading into a mental space that you can't control. And I'm saying, like, it needs to be a safe space where you control your mental and focus on your dynamic and your household. Work on those and strengthen those relationships. Don't be strengthening extra relationships in a disrespectful way. You can
Lady Di. If my wife looked like Whoopi Goldberg and my homegirl looked like
what age though? Hang on, what age? Whoopi's the fine.
It don't matter. It don't matter. That's why I said Whoopi Goldberg, because it don't even matter. But
don't say that. Nah, she was looking back in the day, bro.
And listen, and my homegirl looked like I'm trying to think of somebody. Melissa Ford, right?
Oh Lord.
If Whoopi Goldberg disrespect me all day, Whoopi Goldberg in trouble. I'm telling you, she in trouble. If my homegirl is Melissa Ford, and then I'm talking to Melissa Ford about my problems and stuff, and I'm looking, and let's not lie, I'm looking at Melissa Ford. She got a damn cleavage out while we talking that.
Yeah, it was bought. Half is bought.
Yeah, but that shit gonna go to looking good when Whoopi Goldberg give me her ass to kiss.
Why she gotta be Whoopi Goldberg?
I'm just trying to put it in perspective for you, JT. You know what I'm saying?
1984.
What if she look like Grace Jones?
Oh, she showed enough in trouble. She showed enough in trouble. Then I'm telling you,
I ain't gotta act like that.
Right, man. Before you go on, can we go back to something that Sir Hale had put in the chat earlier?
Yeah.
Where he said, "I think your spouse shouldn't have
the burden of being
your best friend." So I'm wondering, I'm interested in people's views on that.
Yeah, my thing is, isn't your wife supposed to be your best friend?
Wait.
Oh, let me see.
Your spouse?
No, she's supposed to be your wife.
She's supposed to be your wife.
Okay.
I thought that was
I know, but the thing is, I thought that was a part of it. But,
okay, here we go.
She can be.
A man's wife shouldn't have the burden of being his best friend.
She shouldn't be burdened with it. I mean, it's the thing. What he's saying is that it can happen in that way, no doubt, but it doesn't have to be a burden to be because everybody has this whole different way on how they look at what a best friend is. I just look at her as being my wife. She's actually, man, this is something different.
But the thing is this. The thing is this: if you a female and you're going through something like Queen Smile Lady Di, y'all going through something before, y'all got in relationships, y'all going through something, y'all call your homegirl, y'all best friend, be like, hey girl, this is what I'm going through, blah, 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 blah. Should we say the same thing about those individual relationships too? Like that person shouldn't be burdened with getting up at 2 o'clock in the morning talking to your ass.
Here's the thing. Ain't nobody, well, first, if you have true friends, and I think that's what a lot of people are missing, a lot of people lack true individuals in their lives. Because if your best friend, and we had this conversation one time, I think when security boss on, and she was saying, oh, my friend sent me a picture and she knew I was married and she knew that ain't your best friend.
Yeah.
Okay. People like that in your life, okay, who's not encouraging you, who's not encouraging their relationship, regardless of the trials y'all going through, people who are not supporting that relationship and know those boundaries. Because I think one of y'all said it earlier. If they your best friend, if they your guy friend, with your girlfriend or whatever it is, they know not to hit your house up at a certain time at night. They know they need to be on the phone with you every other day. And when they don't hear from you, they shouldn't be telling you, girl, I ain't heard from you in so long. That nigga must got you trapped. Guess what? And do. Okay, because those people are not your best friends.
Right.
All right. But if you have those true best friends in your life, again, I'm with Sir Hale. That person, your husband, your wife, shouldn't have to be the burden of being your best friend. You should have those comfortable friends that's in your life to where you can go to and have those discussions. And they say things like, girl, I know it might be tough right now, but let me tell you about the time I went through X, Y, and Z, and this how we got through. Or I know somebody that went through this and maybe y'all need to try these things. Have you thought about counseling? Have you talked to him or her about it? Those friends should be encouraging you and counseling you through those situations, not doing that. Girl, first off, I wouldn't be able to deal. Or nah, nigga, no. And you remember that time we went to the gym and old girl pushed up on shit. Fuck Grace Jones. You know, those are not your best friends. Okay.
See me, I like.
Let
me finish this up. Let me finish this up, Lady Down. I'm gonna give it to you. And here's another reason why I agree that your wife or your husband don't have to be burdened with the fact of being your best friends. Y'all are still individuals at the end of the day. He make like motorcycles. Mandrea make like jumping out of helicopters and airplanes and stuff. Guess what? At the end of the day, you need to find a friend to do that with. Okay, because if your wife don't like motorcycles, guess what? She ain't got to sit here and watch all the motorcycle shows, all the motorcycle videos, go to all the motorcycle rallies and do all the motorcycle stuff because that's what you like to do. I shouldn't have to burden my husband with, oh, I want to go get my nails done. Oh, I got this new lash. Let me tell you about this eyeliner pencil. This just didn't even work. You know, I was trying to contour my face. I don't have to burden him with that. That's not for him.
Or sit through a Hallmark movie.
Or sit through several, not one, several. Okay?
Oh, yeah. Okay.
Hallmark movies and go shopping for little frivolous stuff. Okay, because I will spend hours in TJ Maxx and Marshalls. I shouldn't have to force him to do that.
Now, I'm gonna play devil's advocate for a second. I'm gonna let you go, Lady Di. I'm gonna play devil's advocate for a second. Most men, like I've a long time ago, I was somewhere and I walked down and I said, damn, I want to experience shit like this with my wife. I don't want to be around no hard legs experiencing no shit like this. You know what I'm saying? Like men are mostly like when they have big experiences, they want to experience that with their woman. Maybe I'm wrong. But a lot of women go on these girl trips, go to the DR, and you ain't been to Vegas with your husband, but you in the goddamn Dominican Republic with your homegirls.
Yep.
You see what I'm saying? Like that ain't something you want to romantically spend with your man. Like you know, like DJ Envy's wife. My wife gone on a girl's trip for 20 days. What the fuck? 20 days? So you mean to tell me she could be in a beautiful place for 20 days and not even think about your ass? Dude, that's not your wife. Man, look, I think men are different, bro. If I go somewhere beautiful, I want my wife with me.
Have you ever seen a bunch of women on those damn girl trips out? They don't even get out of the damn airport before somebody fell out with somebody. Yeah. By the time the trip is over with, they ain't even got a friendship no more. You always got somebody, and look, I know a lot of this. You be having a girl that's always broke. So she can't go nowhere when she get there. She always borrowing money from somebody or something like that. So she going because her friends was going. She ain't going. If she had a man, guess what she wouldn't have to worry about? Out there just staying in the cabin, getting the cabin because she ain't got no damn money.
And that was my next question to you guys. When it comes to, I'm gonna Lady Di, let you go. Lady Di go, then after Lady Di, we'll get into this conversation. But even the privacy of having those trips. Hey, I'm going to the DR with my homegirls. Or I'm going this place, I'm going this place. Right? What y'all doing on the trip? Oh, you know what women, you know what girls do when they get together. You know, they ain't, come on now, I ain't gonna say that. Well, go on in DR, stay in the DR. Should you be privy to what she's doing if she's going to be going on girls trips? But we'll talk about that after what Lady Di's comment. Lady Di, what did you have to say about that before we move forward?
So what Queen Smiley said was funny, and I do like what you were saying. Only thing is, like, with a marriage, this is how I run my marriage. I don't tell my friends a damn thing because they don't need to know. Why?
Come on.
Because they're going to tell me something that may not pertain to me. It may pertain to situations that she's seen. But because you don't know me as well, like, you know, I say me as well. You don't know me as well, like as a wife. You're not behind the closed door. So you don't know me like my husband knows me, and you don't know my husband like that. So your type of advice might not work for my situation. So it could lead, not saying that friends should be telling them, oh, you need to leave him. I'm talking about like a good friend. Sometimes good friends just don't have the information for you. So just to give a woman that space to feel that she could tell you whatever she think works, I think is dangerous. I think you should just communicate that with your man because he know best because you talking to him and vice versa. And then as far as the burden situation, if you married, you stuck. It's no such thing as a burden. So whatever the hell he do, you do. Whatever you do, he do. And I'm not talking about everything. He not coming with me to get my nails done and get my eyebrows done and get my hair done unless he wants to. That's feminine stuff. I'm talking about if he like motorcycles, I like motorcycles. I'm gonna go with him to this motorcycle show. Matter of fact, if I gotta get on a motorcycle because he want to learn how to ride one,
I'm talking about the extreme, Lady Di. So don't take it out of context. I'm talking about the extreme, you know, because of course you're going to do that naturally in a relationship because you both have to find some common ground because you can't just let them roam out there all the time by themselves. And that's vice versa. But, you know, even guys too, but just not the extreme.
But what I'm saying is, this is the extreme. I don't like motorcycles. I'm not saying me. I'm saying the example. I don't like motorcycles. I think they're dangerous, right? But because I think it's dangerous, it's not my cup of tea. Don't mean I don't need to participate in his activities unless it's like a manly, you know, event where it's just men there or something. Then no, I don't need to be there. That's gonna be kind of uncomfortable and a little, I don't know, it could be disrespectful. I'm not sure. But at the same time, what I'm trying to say is, because this is a problem I see with women, they don't like nothing or majority of the things that they man is doing, what they have, what they talk about. They're uninterested. So it puts a division in the home to me because everything is separated because we don't like the same things. All right. So I'm not saying you got to like everything that the person is doing, but you need to be able to adapt to what they're doing. And I feel like it will make you guys a little bit closer in bond. That's all.
Just to levy back off of what Lady Di say, my expectations for my wife is far greater than any best friend I could have ever had.
Exactly.
You feel what I'm saying? Hey, bro, okay, I'm doing, you know, I started doing YouTube, got a podcast. My wife better be my biggest supporter. She better. Something gonna be wrong. You know what I'm
talking about in the context of should your mate be a best friend. We're not talking about support.
But
support should be automatic in a relationship. And even what Lady Di saying, I agree with everything she said with the context of you're not supposed to share a whole lot outside your marriage. You know your friends, you know what you can and can't share. And so you know what your situation is, you know when you can safely have somebody to talk to. So again, totally agree with all of that. But we were talking about in the context of do your wife or your husband have to be your best friend?
Well, this the thing, Queen Smiley. Okay, so I'm gonna go biblically, right? Biblically, it say your desire should be to your wife, and your wife's desire should be to your husband. So even if you don't like to do what your husband like, you should set yourself up for your husband to desire you enough to want to include you. Even if you don't like to do it, you should make your husband desire you enough to where he'd be like, yeah, I love my wife.
But Freezy, check this out. That's not putting a burden on her. That is the work that you have to do inside that relationship to get her to desire that. So in the context of making it a burden is what they were talking about. That's the thing about having a marriage. Imagine if you had everything that you desired in a marriage, right, and it was just given to you. It'll be a boring marriage. This is why, you know, one of the things that if we go to the concept that the relationship or marriage, it is a classroom. It's a never ending classroom.
Well, see,
Because you're going to end up growing with that person, and you're going to end up being a evolution of what you were yesterday, being with that person. They're going to be an element of you being who you ultimately are going to be. That only comes from the experience with them. So a lot of these things, that's why, you know, when we're saying your best friend, no, your wife, your husband.
Right.
That's different than a best
and
friend.
I think what Lady Di was saying was she's going to willfully include herself so she won't make her husband feel like, you know, he's burdening her.
Stuff is
You know what I'm
automatic.
saying?
The natural things are
Absolutely.
automatic. When I said I'm not gonna do XYZ and that people should set boundaries, I'm not saying that casually you won't include yourself. Casually, y'all won't go and get pedicures together. Casually, you won't go shopping together. Casually, you won't go on motorcycle rides together. Casually, you won't go watch Mandrell jump out of
I feel
airplane
what
and
you're
you stand
saying,
down
yeah.
there and root for him to jump down. But should I be forced
Right.
to be that only person you have?
No, you shouldn't be
the only
forced.
person that you have to spend time with, the only person that you have to talk to, the only person that you do these things with, that's something different.
Yeah, I
Well,
agree.
that's
Naturally-
real, that's real.
And over time,
Well,
again, you're
listen,
going
hold
to
on.
have that divided. You know, there's going to be stuff that's yours.
Okay.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Stuff that's yours.
Listen,
That's all I'm saying.
That's why. Hey, Mr. Bennett. That's why earlier when he asked me the first question, is there such thing as privacy in a marriage? I said yes, privacy, but secrets, no. These are things. Yeah, you're gonna have to have things that are just for you
Listen,
because
I'm
you know what I'm saying.
I'm going to speak for most married men, and I'm just going to put the secret out there. Shit, it is what it is. Men are black and white. Ain't no goddamn gray areas. It ain't none. Either your ass going to do it with me, and I'm going to ask you to do it, and you feel like you forced to do it. I'm not going to ask your ass nothing else. I'm not asking you nothing else. I don't give a fuck if you want to do it or not. I'm not asking you shit else. So if I say let's go ride motorcycles and you tell me no to motorcycles, your ass gonna tell me no to parachute. You gonna tell me no to going dolphin swimming. I ain't asking your ass nothing else.
Nope.
I'm not.
If there's a hint of hesitancy, see, no.
Yeah, I'm not asking you shit else. Babe, why you asking me to go? Shit, you told me no to everything else. Fuck it. I'm not asking you nothing else.
That's right.
I hear what y'all saying about the force. It's just as long as you were available to your spouse.
Right.
People say no, and then they're like, well, damn, let me go find somebody else. And that other person might not be the appropriate person. So
Right.
No.
Right, and that's fine.
Like,
because again, on the essential things of the home, none of that, if we're talking about pastimes, if we're talking about sports or something like that. I mean, again, my wife doesn't have to watch every football game or see every Marvel movie with me or every sci-fi movie with me. Just like I don't have to sit in and watch all her Hallmark marathons that she goes through.
Right.
It's like, it's so again, on the core things, our values, how we run our home, how our finances are, how we raise our children, our spiritual, like those things are the things that you have to come together on. But again, you're still going to be an individual, and being able to love someone who is not like you is a higher virtue than someone who's always down with everything that you're down with. That's harder to do, but that's the more virtuous thing to do.
And let me tell you
who they are and let them have their interests.
And let me tell you another
secret.
secret.
Hate to hear the word individual.
Yeah. Let me tell you this other secret.
I like them Hallmark marathons.
I do too.
Some of them, yeah. I can say that watching too, man.
But let me tell you another secret. Sometimes that stuff that man asking you to do, that some of the times the women don't want to do it. Sometimes that shit is tied to his vulnerability. He may be telling you some shit that he wants you to do that he feel like nobody else would do with him, and it's most important that you do it with him. And if you tell him no, oh, okay. He ain't gonna. I'm telling you guys, men are like they black and white. You tell him no, oh, okay, baby, you right. I'm gonna go jump out the plane by myself. Cool. But the next 15 things I do, the next 15, 20 things I do, I ain't telling your ass nothing. And that just is what it is. And if you feel like you being pushed aside, or you feel like, oh, you don't talk to me about nothing, you don't make me a part of nothing. Well, I didn't build the house, you did. That's simple. That's just married men. Put a 1 in the chat if I'm lying.
Well, look,
I
guess I'm a dictator, man.
Hey, I'm telling you, Hank, I'm with you.
I guess I'm a dictator because some of the shit y'all talk about don't. Man, it's all inclusive here. Like a resort, it's all inclusive.
Or the thing is, Hank, like
All
yes,
inclusive, dog.
here's the thing. Where I agree with you, the all inclusive thing is, yeah, she's open to come, but for me, she ain't got to. You know what I'm saying?
No,
She ain't got to. She ain't got to come. Like there's some things there's some things I'm gonna do. Like the thing, pastimes, hobbies, things your own interests that the other that my significant other may not be into. Like I'm a person who can sit there, like say if she wants me to watch a movie with her, I can sit there with anything. I can watch the silliest shit on the screen, or the most crazy stuff, or the most boring thing. I can sit there and find entertainment out of it. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. And so when it comes to stuff like that, and going to get pedicures with her every now and again, yeah, I'm down with that. But I understand. I know what I'm doing. Like if I want to go, hey, want to go to Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu? Want to go to boxing, MMA? If she says no, I get that. Hey, I'm going skydiving. Why don't you get on the plane and jump with me? She says no, I get that. Okay, I can't. I'm not gonna. Right. I'm not gonna force her to do these. Yeah, I'm not gonna force her to do these things. Like I understand what I'm asking her to do here. I do understand that. Hey, listen, not everybody will do this stuff.
Right, and keep in mind, if I have to force you to do something, I don't want to do it anyway.
That's right.
Hey, I'm not gonna force. Yeah, I'm not gonna force you to. Like if she would around and cheer me on while I jump out of an airplane and skydive, cool. Hey, it means a lot to me that she came with me. She ain't got to get on the plane, and she didn't have to come with me every time. In fact, that's something I'm stopping anyway. It's crazy.
And
I'm gonna get a few more in though before I stop.
And you know what though, man? I don't mean this in a harsh way, but even look at the NFL. When you see Brett Favre play his last couple of games or whatever, any game, you see that little white woman up there. She clapping. Oh my God. You ask her, I don't really like football, but my husband's here, she's a multimillionaire. He's made millions. She don't have to be there. She can be on a goddamn yacht while he playing in the playoffs. But they choose. Listen, if it's in you, it's in you. I'm telling you, I'm trying to help some marriages here. Men are black and white. Listen to what Hank is saying as well. Men are black and white. I'm not going to force you to do anything. If I have to force you to do it, I'm not going to do it. That's not what we're saying, forcing someone to do something. Right. However, when I'm sitting in that movie theater by myself, when I'm sitting at dinner by myself, when I get that plane ticket by myself, I don't want to hear nothing. I don't want to hear nothing.
And the thing is,
you in Detroit with JT. Why you in Detroit with JT? Well, I knew you didn't want to go to Vegas, so I knew damn well you're not going to want to go to Detroit.
Yeah, who's gonna want to go to Detroit?
It is what it is.
I'm gonna tell you the truth. If I ask my wife to go to the movies, if she don't want to go to the movies, just in the beginning, black man, just in the beginning, like if she don't want to go to the movies or go out to eat, I'm just because my wife ain't going, I might stay home myself too. You know what I'm saying? Like with her. I might be like, okay, well, let's just do something at the house. Let's watch a movie. You know what I'm saying? Okay, because I'm trying to do my part in not, inviting temptation as well. So if she don't want to go to go sit down at a restaurant, in the beginning, I might be like, okay, well, I don't have to go either. Let's just do something together. And then I'm showing her, hey, look, I want to include you. I want to be with you. I don't want to be at the restaurant.
I think you're doing the restaurant. You're doing the restaurant to spend time with her,
right?
And to get out of the house and do something with her. Like that's the point. Yeah, that's the point of asking her.
I have a question on what Freeze just said.
Men make the most sacrifices. Men do, because my wife asked me, "You want to come watch this movie with me?" I said, "Okay." I go in there, it's a B movie. You can see the damn microphone over the people's head. I said, what kind of but my personality on the inside saying, what the fuck is this? On the outside, I'm like, yeah, baby, man, it's pretty good ass movie, man.
We tried to do that, but it got to a point where it's like, look, if you ain't feeling this, you ain't feeling it. So again, I think part of it has to be honesty and transparency also. I stopped dragging my wife to all the Star Wars episodes. All right. Because
she don't like Star Wars?
She falls. I remember when we were dating. We went to see the Star Wars Special Edition back in 1997. She fell asleep during Empire Strikes Back.
What?
Oh my God.
I was like, "Are you serious?"
Security.
So
wait. She fell asleep
right there. That was it right there.
Out of all of them, out of all the Star Wars to fall asleep on,
Empire Strikes Back. Exactly.
She fell asleep on Empire. Out of all of the,
I had Mandrell. After that date, I had my doubts. I really had my doubts about it. So then it got to a point. It's like, all right, babe, next movie coming out. Even with the MCU, if it's Avengers or Captain America, she's going. Thor, no, I'm not going. Guardians of the Galaxy, no, she ain't going. Fine with us. You work it out.
And that's the thing. Yeah, that's the thing.
I have my doubts. I'm in there excited, because I hadn't seen a Star Wars movie like that in 20 years, like standing in line and all that. Going in there, I'm excited. It's like, this is cool. And she's out like,
And then you tell your wife she was one movie.
It's all about knowing who you with,
though. That's an inflection point, but I can't tell you.
You know what I'm saying? It's all about knowing the person you with. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
And there's certain sacrifices they're willing to make. Like, if I know my lady really wants me to watch a Lifetime movie, I'm gonna tough it out.
Right.
I'm not gonna say shit. I'm say, hey, don't talk to me while we watch these movies. Now, I'm watching your movie, but I don't like to be having conversation doing a goddamn movie. We're gonna sit in silence. We're gonna enjoy the movie. When it's funny to me, we're gonna laugh. We're gonna enjoy ourselves. But I ain't not gonna say, "What do you think about that?" Now, ask me after the movie's over.
Did y'all watch Best Man Holiday?
I guess I'm a dictator, dog.
Did
I don't
y'all
watch any of that stuff.
Holiday?
I don't watch no. Look, if I watch drama, I know where to find it. I don't need to pay good money to go see it. I don't watch any of that stuff.
Queen Smiley, you had a question regarding what Freezy said.
So hold on, just a second, everybody. Lady Di gotta go. Lady Di, go ahead and get your final thoughts, sweetheart, and then and tell everybody how they can get on your platform.
This was a great conversation. I love to hear different dynamics and different ways to do things. But you can find me on @LadyDiDTM, which you can see on the screen on any platform, or you could type "dating to marriage support" on YouTube, that's where you can find me. I go live every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. So you can find me on there. And if you want to get free advice when it comes to marriage or how to get married, I do live shows and I definitely offer that. So just schedule it with me at @LadyDiDTM. Just DM me. All right, you guys have a good night.
You too, sweetheart. All right. So yeah, man, listen. Go ahead, Queen Smiley.
But Mr. Bennett end up hitting it. At some point you have to just be honest with yourself and honest with who you are. Like No Captivity was saying, if it's the case that he wanted to go out to eat and he asked his lady out and she said, "Nah, I don't really want to go." So he eventually says, "No, okay, I'll just stay at home and just, kick it with you because I only ask you out to be with you." When do you grow tired of that? Because at some point, I feel like oftentimes, and this is a problem that happens in marriages, you have a passion for something and you kind of minimize your passion and who you are to kind of, what's the word I'm looking for? To kind of pacify this person and the things that they do or don't like. So if Freezy's one of those foodies and likes to go try new restaurants here and there, and she's just a homebody, then at what point do you get tired? And be like, you know what? I'm just going to eventually go out here and do it anyway.
That's why I said in the beginning.
Right, because in the beginning, but then after some time, that puts a strain on the relationship. Because now you're like, look, now I'm asking you to go. Like, what's up? Every time I ask you to go, you say no. All you want to do is, sit in the house, or all you want to do is do what you want to do. And I do that with you, but you don't like to do the stuff with me. And so that's a problem also. So you have to be honest and say, hey, look, I'm gonna identify some things. Accommodating. Thank you, beautifully animated. I couldn't figure out that word. But at some point, when do you say, you know what? You're an individual. You got your stuff you like. I got the stuff that I like. And it goes back to that. I think that was Hink said it earlier, or was that JT? Somebody said knowing who you with. Knowing who you with in that relationship and what those boundaries are. And I think we're talking about being best friends in relationships.
Real quick, JT, you know what really pisses a man off? When you tell him, no, I don't feel like going to the movies, 2 days later, babe, where you going? Oh, my sister asked me to go to the movies.
Oh, baby, no. Oh, no. Oh, no.
Listen. That shit happens.
Well, you got a lot of people that are very complacent in their relationship because they keep looking for the finish line. The finish line is when you die. You just never arrive. You're always learning something. And what happens is that you have so many people that think that at some point their relationship is going to be on autopilot, when they don't realize that it'll never be on autopilot. There's always going to be something new in the relationship. And if you can't get to getting past something as having common goals and being able to have times when you're together with each other and times when you're by yourself, you can't balance those out. Your relationship has an expiration date real soon. And that's what happens with a lot of people. They don't realize that it's still work. You got to make it look like it's not work. You know, that's why I always look at,
real.
you know, in a relationship, kind of more like, how do we dance together? How's our routine? At some point, we got to look good when we walking with each other. It's like a dance, and you got to keep rehearsing it. But a lot of people think that it's just on all. When we start getting to the point where it gets tiring for me to be doing for you, that's because somebody ain't doing something in this relationship. At some point, you know, like with me and my girl, the way that we even look at each other is, you make me want to do this for you. Period. That's just what it is. You make me want to do these things for you. When I first met her, it was like, man, I'm in my imagination, this is where I want our relationship to be. So then I have to get my ideals to her so they can bounce off, and then she'll see, okay, his ideals is cool. I like that. She gives me her ideals of what she think our relationship should be on her end. Next thing you know, it's fun. Then we talk about each other's flaws and what we don't. I mean, it's at some point you got to find the humor in your relationship, because there's going to be some shit that y'all just are not going to jive with. Then you just learn that it's not that damn serious and not that important, and let's just keep living together. That's all. Yeah. Most people, you just can't. They still dating each other and they're married. They still think they supposed to be treat each other like boyfriend and girlfriends, because they haven't. I don't believe that you got to learn everything in relationships. It's like going and get self-help, you know, read a self-help book. Sometimes it's called self-help. You got to figure it out. Some of the shit you just got to figure out. Everybody can't hold your hand and tell you each and every avenue where you need to be. We're that intelligent. That's my end on that.
All right. So before we go into the girls trip thing, I'm going to read these super chats that we got in here. We got one from Clement Gray. He says a person's private. Thank you for the $5 super chat, Clement. He said a person's privacy is them horror stories black men be telling about what the women be doing behind their husband's back. No privacy. Absolutely. Clement Gray also $2 super chat. Wise, adapt to your husband. Bible, read it. Clement Gray says, watch for them girls trips. And we about to get into that. Whole lot of women going on them trips. Absolutely. They down there slobbering them up. All right. So I'm gonna go ahead and play something for that. Clement Gray, thank you for those super chats, man. We'll take a quick break and then we'll go into the second half of our show here tonight. Let me see what I want to put out here tonight. Let me go back. Let me go to the this for you, Mandria.
That's funny. You will give me jam, baby. I ain't going nowhere. Chilling right here. We had a record jam on the track, chilling with the pocket queen. Knowing you weren't expecting this, so not like this. Nah. To the hook now. Ain't that like when I sing freestyle? Ain't that like when I do it 3 times? You really do the best. You really do the best. The mic and the melody comes on, the rhythm to hold on. We can't let it go, no. Ooh, ain't that like when I do it 3 times? That's honey.
All right, man. Appreciate that. So, girls trips, guys. The privacy of girls trips. Should your spouse know? Should your husband know, or spouse know what you're going to be doing on your trip? You know, where you going, who you going to be with, or should she be on the trip? Period. I'm gonna start with Hink first. Go ahead, Hank.
Man, shit. Ain't no girls trip, man. Ain't no goddamn girls trip here, man. It's a couples trip. Now, what you did before me, it's nothing I can do. I don't ever say so. But once I'm in a picture, y'all, that shit shuts down. You better live off your memories.
Wait a minute, Hank. Hold on. To the men out there that are okay with their wives going on girls trips, what would you say to them tonight? What advice would you give them?
You a goddamn fool. You a goddamn fool. If you okay with that, then you better be okay with everything that goes on. Everything that goes on. So when you see them videos when they upload them, because please believe, women can't hold water, and they're gonna upload them pictures. One of the girlfriends gonna be in the background showing the pictures, doing the sky view, overhead look, and you gonna see your wife backing a thing up at one of the dancers, one of the waiters, and guess what's gonna happen later on that night? Back in the day, you used to put a sock or a towel on the door, means don't come through. Like the van is rocking, don't come knocking. You know what's going on in there.
So I was on security about
somebody
so
get the cheap bank.
So I was on security ball show, and she had a video of a lady said that she went to Jamaica with her husband, and she had sex. They went to dinner, and she had sex with a guy she met earlier that day. She had sex with him in the bathroom while her husband was at the table.
Get it in, baby. Get it in. Look, and for the dudes that are getting allowed that, y'all goddamn fool. And you deserve everything you get from that. So don't be mad at her. Don't be disappointed.
But her husband was at the table, Hank.
Her husband took on the trip.
But here's the thing, Hank.
He must have been okay with it, man, Drell.
No, but wait. I know I'm speaking out of turn, but at the same time, I think Mr. Bennett and I, like, we were on a panel once, and he and I, it was a full panel. Me and Mr. Bennett were the only two were like, I don't understand. Why do you guys have problems with girl trips? Like the example Black Man just gave, the guy took his wife on a girls trip, and she cheated on her husband in the bathroom while he was at the dinner table. My thing is,
it wasn't a girls trip.
Right, but my thing, but
and then she hooks up with
I know, but my point is, if your lady cheats on you on a girls trip, that's more than likely not her first time cheating, because she ain't got to go out of town to cheat.
She right.
You know what I'm saying? So my thing is, like, I don't have a problem with my lady going on a girls trip.
So my thing is this: for me, it's a covering thing for me.
Yeah, for me it's a safety thing. Right. If I have any issue with it at all, it's an issue of like, okay, I'm not going to be there to protect her.
Right.
If something happens, I'm not there, and that's it. But as far as trusting her to not be with anybody else, yeah, I trust her not to do that. I mean,
so basically, hold on. So basically, when they go on girls trip, they're gonna put on their best clothes, their more slutty clothes, the clothes that show more. That basically they're dangling meat in front of lions. And what they do is, that's been proven time and time and time again. Thank God for social media. Man, time and time again, one of those situations, just like Hank said, when she do that panoramic view over her head, and you look up and say, "Is that my wife?" You've seen it time and time again on TikTok. You've seen it on. Man, you seen it everywhere. These women out here throwing that ass back when they on them girls too. They getting drunk. They slum ass drunk, right? It just is what it. When you think they go on a girls trip to be sober, they're gonna be drunk. They're gonna be drinking. They're gonna be around a whole bunch of men.
Here's the thing. Not every woman's gonna do that.
Oh shit!
And my thing is, I know how. I ain't never seen none of that. Never been on the other side of that, seeing the girls trip from the other side. You ain't never seen the girls trip from the other side. If you ever,
I've seen what women do on girls trips. I've seen that.
So you would have a problem with the girls trip.
No, my thing is
what they won't do. The thing is, what they would do in Garrison with you It's not what they're going to do when they cruise. It's not what they're going to
If
do.
you hadn't traveled
It's not
anywhere,
what they-
man, in the past 5 years or so, you don't know the context of a girl's trip right now.
Yeah, they
God
wilding out like a
damn.
motherfucker.
Damn.
Wilding out like a motherfucker.
So my thing is this.
Shit.
My number one is, okay, if she goes out and behaves that way, where is her integrity and respect for a man in a relationship?
Man, she don't give
and
a shit
herself?
about that.
You gonna fuck about that?
And number two, my thing is number
I'll
two.
put it back on when I get home.
Yeah.
I'm taking this integrity shit off right now. That and my titties about to show. I'm about to be out here. We outside now. That's what it is.
Girl, how my camel toe looking?
How my camel toe looking?
Shit.
Damn.
I'm gonna say this, and I'm gonna gracefully bow out because I'm gonna get ready to get out of here.
I'm right behind you. I'm right behind you.
How my camel toe looking?
Y'all so
I mean, right.
It's a population. I can't even say it's a small population of women because it's a vast population of women who are going on girls trips having those things in mind. However, y'all still see some wholesome people that are on some of those trips, and you be looking. And the crazy part, you look at them like, God, dog, why you got that long old skirt on, skirt down to their knees, past their knees and their ankles. You're like, you got all that.
Well, that's
stuff
the
on.
Pentecostal convention.
You know, they out there hanging. You know,
Shout out to the Mormons.
Yeah,
baby.
some
Shout out to the
people
Mormons.
not to be out the city at all without it for any reason. So
yeah,
even the Pentecostal convention or the Jehovah's Witness convention, they don't want that.
Yeah, but so you'll see some women do have good intentions when they do trips like that. I'm a firm believer of taking girls trips mainly because me and my sisters and cousins do it. It's kind of like a family thing that we do. Mainly we do it for my birthday. And so it's either my birthday or my sister's birthday or one of our birthdays, we go do it. And we don't do all that wild and that stuff that everybody do. JT, shut up.
See?
JT, shut up.
Hey, hold on. Now, Mandre, I'm gonna use your words. You got one woman saying that. I'm gonna send you these videos. I'm gonna send you these videos.
No, I understand that the vast majority of them may do that, but not all women are like that. I've seen videos too.
I've been there, and I've shunned women for doing some of that very thing, even being in the military. You know, somebody asked me one time, I know this person, matter of fact, this just happened recently too. Somebody said, I know this person kind of hangs with you during the football field. I see how they move, but I don't see you. We just be on the football field. How they move, we don't move in a personal space like that because I don't do some of the things that they do. Same thing in the military. I had to tell some females, I'm sorry, sis, you can't hang with me. And these are some of the things you're doing when the lights go out or when we get, moved around to different places. I just can't be in those kind of atmospheres. And I don't hang with people like that. And so me and my little crew, my little circle, my family, because most of us are related, we hold each other to a certain standard. And so that's for us, though. I can't speak that for other women.
Right now,
but the question was on a girls' trip, if you're in a relationship, you're dating, or you married, is that a private event or trip? No, it's not private. Your mate should know exactly where you're going, who's all going, who you with. And if your man doesn't value your friends or don't like your friend circle, okay, that's a whole nother thing. That's a no. If your man don't trust the women you're going with and he say, I don't want you to go with Bonquisha, guess what? Don't go on that trip with Bonquisha. But if your mate know, male or female, because I encourage men to take trips too. Okay, take your little partner crew and go do your thing. Y'all don't be going out here slanging D. All of y'all don't. Now, granted, some of y'all got dick discipline and some of y'all don't. But where you see, again, it's a group of men that go on those trips to do the very same thing those women are going to do. Totally understand. Two separate groups of people, but it's definitely not a private trip. Y'all should be sharing where you're going, who you with, okay? When you're checking in, when you're checking out, y'all need to be checking in on a regular basis. If you don't allow that space to do all of that, then guess what? You don't need to go. And it's not a trust issue. It's to make that man or that woman comfortable enough to know that, hey, I'm going and I'm doing X, Y, Z. This is who I'm doing it with. This is how we rocking. And there should never be a time where you ain't picking up that phone or somebody call you missing a call.
JT, let me say this real quick. Me and we took a couples cruise. And on that cruise, there was a group of women there. And I'm telling you, every one of them was fine as hell. And they was all on girls' trips. And you look at their hand, all of them had their nice little rings on. Me and my brother coming down the hallway, about to go to the room. Right? We walking in the room, they walking down the little hallway there. Guess what she turned around and said? What y'all doing tonight? My wife peeked her head around the corner and said, coming up in the room with me. Why? My sister-in-law said, what the fuck is your husband? He ain't here this weekend, bitch. She was drunk in the motherfucker. He ain't here this weekend, and we finna have some. When my sister-in-law said, you gonna have no fun with my husband. And the entire time they was there, you seen these women hugging, dancing up on the fucking top of the boat with different men. I was like, oh no. I said, my brother.
Yeah, but the issue, I get it, but the issue is that happens on a daily basis. So my thing is, there's no difference between the girls' trip and either day of the week. That's why I said, I mean,
what the difference is.
But my thing is, JT, let me finish. There's no difference between any other day of the week and that day. Those days she's on the girls' trip, right? So it comes down to trust for me, and it comes down to also to what you guys said earlier, knowing who you're married to. You know who you're married to. Now, if you suspect that your wife or your girlfriend would do something like that or behave that way, you know, while she's off somewhere, then I understand your objection. But if you really do trust that woman and she's give you no reason to think that she behaved that way out of your sight, then what's the point? I mean, what are we talking about here?
Yeah, but that's a tough conversation you got to have from the get-go.
Yes,
I'm all for that, man. Look, I encourage men have them tough conversations, and these need to be a part of them tough conversations. Because let me tell you, you throw a few words out to a woman, and you sit back and you take intel, you listen, you just pay attention, and them stories gonna come out. She gonna tell it because again, women cannot hold water. You watch their social media, you watch their circle of friends, you get around and you take notes, and then you sit there and evaluate, and then you come back, present this shit to her. Like I'm telling you, like a FBI, present evidence. I don't like how you moving her. I don't like how you moving there. That's questionable. That's sketchy. That's got to change. That's okay. That's how I move. Now, y'all call me a dictator if you want to, but if we're gonna make this work, you're gonna be with me, and I'm gonna bless you my last name. This is how it's got to happen. No more girls trip. Again, enjoy the memories because that's all they are. Now it's couples trip from here on out. Once I bless you with my last name, and we decide we're gonna be serious with each other, that's what it's gonna be.
But this is the other side of it too. This is the other side of it.
I don't know if
you guys are old enough to know
Y'all have a
about.
good night.
Oh, all right, no cap.
All right.
I don't know if you guys are old enough to know about Freaknik.
I remember that. I never went, but I remember.
It broke up a lot of relationships.
It sure did.
A couple of marriages. Let me tell you the reason why.
It sure did.
These women were out there going hard. They was going hard. I mean, College Park, all through the mall. What was it? Lenox Mall. You had that whole city was just going. Even in Decatur, all the surrounding cities was going out, going hard.
It was a go to be a hoe.
Yeah, it would literally. It'd just be in a parking lot of the mall, and you'd just see big old groups, girls out there. You know, they didn't call it twerking back then. They was calling it pussy popping and booty shaking and stuff like that.
Mm-hmm.
And they were, man, these guys were so like crazy doing it. They used to rip their shirts off, pulling their pants down, they groping them, and these girls was like, they started being scared. What was tearing up a lot of these relationships was because there was a lot of grapes, a lot of them. And then they find out their boyfriend was like, well, what the fuck was you doing there? Why was you there with that guy?
Exactly.
Like, it was very common during that time. All kind of relationships broke up. They were trying to make the men feel guilty because they was like, I can't deal with this shit. I know that happened to you, but you shouldn't have went anyway. I told your ass not to go. Now look what you done got yourself in trouble. The reason why it's problems when you go on these type of trips is because you are not covered, period.
Mm-hmm.
You are around a bunch of people that can't protect you.
Exactly.
You ever see how women try to protect each other? It's bullshit. Especially now. You go to somewhere like Miami, you go somewhere where like you don't know who you gonna meet. I don't know if you guys ever seen that dude asked for those girls' phone number. They rejected him, said some shit to him. He came back with a gun, started shooting up the damn restaurant. You're not covered. So, and then you would have women that would break up with their boyfriend so they can go on that trip.
Yep.
And then they call themselves trying to get back with him when they come back.
But here's the problem though, JT, with the girls trip.
Your microphone is doing something crazy, brother.
My microphone doing something crazy?
Yeah.
It's like you
it sounds like it's real. Yeah.
It's real. What is loud?
No, it's like it's real low and faint. Yeah, it's like it's down.
Oh, okay. Go ahead. Y'all talk. I'm
gonna tell y'all something. Right, hold on, Hank, real quick. I'm going to New Orleans for Mardi Gras, February the 17th, 18th, 19th, and 20th. I'm going to have a 4K panoramic view of these married women. I'm going to record the shit out of them. And I'm going to bring it back and I'm going to show y'all. You know how many girls trips going to New Orleans for Mardi Gras? I'm finna to show you what they do. I'm going to make it my business to record these women. I'm going to make sure I zoom in on them rings. I'm going to make sure I show you the married women that's pulling their bras up, letting everybody grab them titties. What? I'm gonna show you. I'm gonna record
for some coconut beads.
Yep. And then the Sunday after they be at church. Hallelujah. First lady, you sure look nice today. How was your weekend?
First lady.
Oh yeah, first lady's out there. Titties out. Yeah, hallelujah. Titties out.
Hey, is this better black man?
I don't know. You may go out and come back in.
Okay.
Well, one of the things that he's worried about girl trip, you get some stray dicks is the least of your worries.
Exactly.
Right.
You know, that's the least of your worries.
Yep.
You mess around and get snatched.
Yep. You get hit across the head with a brick and put in the back of a
and I'm not going to be taken, and I can't get you.
That's
other surroundings. So that's a concern for me.
And Hank,
if you with some questionable on a real fast major, if you with some questionable friends, that's a problem already. Because I'm gonna evaluate your friends. I'm saying, hey man, why you hanging with her? She's trash. She's a bad influence. You need to stay away from her. So all of that needs to be evaluated and have a conversation about, man.
Right.
That
needs to be done a lot earlier in the process. I think when I was on I was on with Mandra, we were talking about again. You should know her friend group very well, and what that's about. And if there's a bad vibe, then they shouldn't be hanging out anyway. They shouldn't even be talking. Like I said earlier, there's boundaries when you get married or whatnot. And if she's going to be, sharing information that she shouldn't, or if she's putting ideas in her head about, like, you went out with so and so, y'all could have just went to the bar around the corner and just had a kind of you coming back with these strange ideas. Okay, you've been talking to so and so tonight then. So again, a lot of this stuff you should be able to pick up on early. Nothing should necessarily catch you by surprise when these things go down the way they do.
And you see the girl went to Mexico on a girls trip. She dead, and they left her ass right there, got on the plane and came home and left her body over there. I'm telling you. Listen.
But the thing is this, because I'm gonna say this, I'm about to head out too. I don't have an issue, but my concern, it's not an issue, it's a concern, is her safety. I'm not there, something goes wrong. Who knows when I'm gonna get what information? You know what I'm saying? That's my only concern about going on a girls trip. As far as trusting her not to go crazy and act belligerent, showing flashing people and all that stuff. I mean, if you don't trust your lady, why are you with her? That's my question. You know what I'm saying?
Man, Jerry, you can trust her all day long. When she get around that influence, it's different, bro. I'm telling you.
I get what you're saying. I get what you're saying, but it comes back around to knowing who you with. You know what I'm saying? Because fellas, what your lady's gonna do and what she's not. If she might have that tendency, like Hank said, if you have these conversations, and they'll tell you how they behaved on these trips they went on.
She's your girl. Why she ain't drinking? But when she had 13 shots and hit that blunt from Jamaica. She ain't yours no more. She belonged to the spirits. And she gonna wake up like, what's this? This is tart taste in my mouth. Damn, what I did last night.
I mean, fair enough. Man.
I'm trying to tell you.
I mean, okay, fair enough, man. I guess you got a point, but I guess you have a point. But the thing is, that's my take on it. Just if you're not gonna trust her, why bother being with her? And she doesn't have to leave the country or go out of town to cheat on you. If she does, that's probably not her first time cheating on you.
But Mandrea, if you live in Texas, right? And everybody, a majority of the people know Mandrea, right? And they know your girl, right? And so they know you. But if you're in the Dominican Republic where nobody, like it's the reverse of Cheers. Sometimes you want to go where nobody knows your name. When you over there and nobody knows who you are.
And for some of you guys on this panel who are military, y'all should know that too. If you deploy,
yeah. Well, no, we do know what your wife is up to when we deploy. Yeah, when you deploy, that's why I never got married while I was in the military. The whole time, because in my job, I didn't know a single guy who hadn't been divorced at minimum 3 times. Wow. So and I got a old teammate of mine. I was in contact with him just this week. Right, he has to pull duty and be a bailiff for a military tribunal. Right, so this guy, assaulted his wife to death, like with his hands, right? And so, you'd be, like I said, Mr. Bennett, you'd be amazed at how swiftly the military sews stuff like that up.
I'm saying, but
my thing is, we know when we deploy, that's a rare occurrence when a guy, responds that way, because when you leave, there was this weird understanding that their wife was going to cheat. That was the crazy part to me, and that's the part I couldn't accept nor understand. So that's why I never got married. I didn't even get serious with anyone. In fact, I mean, for the most part, I just wasn't even here enough. You know what I'm saying? Here long enough, stateside long enough while I was in. But yeah, that's kind of thing. When you deploy, that, and plus you're in your 20s when you sign up. You're young, but that doesn't mean anything. You got chicks out there 40s. You know what I'm saying? Their husband got 22, 24-year careers. And the older chicks were out there in the club. I don't know. Maybe it's just a part of military military culture, I guess. I don't know. But the vast majority of people misbehave when they're deployed. Their spouse is deployed. And it's crazy.
And when my grandfather used to say a lot of slick shit. And one of the things he say, son, if you go to the military or you let your woman go out of town without you, it's like he says the equivalent of letting her sit on the porch with her legs wide open with a watermelon on the one arm and a glass of water in the other one. and I believe him. And to this day, that was years ago. I was a kid when he told me that. Damn, he was toxic when I was a kid. Thinking about it. But yeah, I was about 10 or 11 when I remember that like it was yesterday. He said, they coming, son. He said, you can't stop. He said, stop chasing after a woman, because when they come in, and he says it's going to get to a point you can't even stop them. And he ain't lying. Like, so in New Orleans, I got a mission coming up. All right. Tomorrow's February the 1st? I got 17 days until I go down there and do my documentary. And I'm going to do a documentary. I'm going to show y'all what these wives doing, these first ladies and these business women and that's married. I'm going to show you.
Hey, black man, you're going to have to call it We Outside.
Yep, We Outside.
Black man unfiltered edition.
Yep.
On
that note, I'm finna head out, y'all. Thanks for having me. Appreciate it.
Man. But I appreciate you, Mandrea.
No problem.
Hey, now do keep in mind that that Mandrea is the spokesperson for Jergens. So if you need any Jergens, he got Jergens for 15% off.
No, I'm not.
And the cherry blossom kind is 20% off, I think.
Whatever. Anyway, later.
Yeah, all right. Well,
I was gonna say this right here. The girl trip, if you're married, the girl's trip just won't work. I'm gonna tell you why. Because for one, if she's not going to be able to be with all of her other 7 homegirls the whole time, which I want her to be with them at all times, so she can have eyes on her. Mm-hmm. I don't never want her to separate herself just because she doesn't want to participate in some of the things that they're doing. So she needs to actually be around them at all times, right? So if she's not going to
For Tracy,
participate,
old trampling ass.
if she's not going to participate in everything, ain't no need of you being there, right? And then another thing is, if I call your phone one time and you don't answer, man, it gonna be a problem.
I'm on the trip.
I'm telling you. Listen, you know what? Don't even worry about going. I'm with Hink. Listen, I just got all the phone my homeboy Hink. He told me I'm a damn fool. Don't even worry about going. Okay, listen. Before we even have problems when you come back home, you just don't need to go because for one, the other 7 of your homegirls, whatever they agreed to do on that trip, for one, you can't control that. You can't control what y'all do because it's a group thing. So if you're gonna make a decision to say, no, I'm gonna break off from them at this time, no, that's gonna be a problem too. So you just don't need to go. It just ain't gonna work out.
Yeah, and look at this comment right here. She said, if a married woman would cheat on her man when he's deployed, ooh, what do you think she would do if she's out the country on a trip with her friends?
Real.
Like, if she ain't respecting the fact that you're protecting the country, what you think she gonna do when she out the country when you ain't protecting nothing?
No doubt.
But I think the point was, I think the point that Mandrell was making, that you don't necessarily have to be out the country for your woman to be cheating.
Oh yeah, you're right.
That's the only thing I thought he was trying to say.
Yeah, she can have
on a bigger note, right? It's just like when a woman got kids now. When she got 2-3 kids, your partying day is over with. It's time to hang it up. I know you want to go party, but guess what? It's time to change your life right now. So when you married, guess what? It's the same concept. You married now, it's over.
Yeah, you make that commitment. If you didn't want this commitment, you shouldn't have stood up at the altar.
Yeah,
you should have. Over, man. Mr. Bennett, how do you feel about DJ Envy saying his wife? He said his wife is going on a girls' trip with her friends for 20 days.
Not a wise idea, but again, I've heard DJ Envy in the past saying that there's been all kinds. There's been infidelity, I think, on both sides in that relationship. So, you can give him kudos and credit for, I guess, sticking it out in spite of. But I wouldn't look at DJ Envy's situation as an ideal situation, because there's been infidelities all over the place in that thing. But
yeah, well, it was him on the infidelity, but she was the one that said after they were having sex for 15, she hadn't had an orgasm in 15 years.
Right. So again, that's a different level of dysfunction, if you want to call it that. I mean, in fact, this is a conversation. I mean, that in and of itself, that's a show within and of itself. So
she getting one now though, because she been gone 7 days. She getting one now. Somebody tearing her ass up.
Yeah,
I don't give a damn what Envy say.
Yeah. But again, again, in those spaces, if the they just operate on a different level. You know what I mean? It's like if the money's there, she ain't leaving because of the money. So Mr. Bennett,
if Sister Bennett come up to you and say, "Hey, baby, me and my friends got together. We're going to take a 20-day woman's trip out of the country." What are your thoughts?
I wouldn't be. Now, my wife has 3. She really doesn't have a lot of people who she called girlfriends. She's really tight with her sisters. Mm-hmm. Even if her and her sisters went on a 20-day trip, I would raise some concerns about that situation. Like I said, I mean, she was just in New Orleans just for a couple of days with her father and sister and my daughter, and it was definitely something that she missed me. So what can I tell you?
Right.
But yeah, that would be I mean, that would be problematic. I mean, a reason to go on that kind of thing, especially for leisure, if it's not work related, if it's not business related or spiritual, you're going on a 30-day sabbatical, whatever it is. I see no reason for that. But in my case, I can see that happening.
Yeah. What's up, Tommy B?
What's that? No, so, bro, okay, I'm a nigga that get motion, bro. Anywhere I go, I get motion. So, as thirsty as they say niggas is for trying to fuck, if I can go on trips and not fuck, are we really saying that females can't control their coochie? I've been on trips with my niggas and haven't fucked. And I had motion, had it getting thrown at me, and I didn't fuck. And we're supposed to be the ones that damn near can't even control our dick if it's getting thrown at it.
Exactly.
But we're literally on here talking about if a female goes somewhere, it's damn near just guaranteed. She like, come on, like this is just starting to sound goofy, dog. And then even to your point, Mr. Bennett, these niggas that be married to them chicks, we knew they was hoes when they got married. I'm gonna just keep it a thou with you. It's plenty of these niggas that got married, and we looking, and we all in the background looking like, bro, he marrying her. Like I'm gonna just keep it solid with you. Even when you hold on. Even when you talk about like you can see the videos. Guarantee you, if you go to the social media, these hoes that you talking about the videos, they social medias ain't wholesome. They got ass, and whether they married or not, they ass. So this ain't something like that's why I kept saying in the chat. Know who you with. If you know who you with, then you ain't got no. You ain't got.
Bro, when you go on these trips, bro. When you go on these trips, I know how it's way worse now. First, when you say that you get motion, first and foremost, you are a very small minority of dudes, bro. Women are being offered dick on those trips, and they're not. The average woman is not going to be acting like she is in Garrison when she at home. She turning up. She outside. It ain't about controlling shit. It's about having a moment. This is the problem that they have. Now, to the other point, this new generation of women is different because they always outside. Always. How many people on the average go on trips that's for a week or more in a year? How many people actually can afford to do that?
Somebody might have to tell me, is this generation always inside on the internet or are they always outside? I'm confused because I get told in one year they always inside, they stuck inside, they on the internet, and now I'm being told they always outside.
But no, they're both because their whole life is a fucking vacation.
Okay, but JT, who's marrying that bitch? That's my point.
But there's no real marriages, bro. This is a bunch of motherfuckers getting together. What we're talking about is allowing it. You got even more of a reason not to allow her to be going on fucking girl trips.
Because you speaking on females, I wouldn't give the time of day to.
Right.
Like I said, the type of females that you're talking about that are in these videos, if you looked at their social media, you off of my list of even who I would fuck with in the first place.
Right.
Based off of that alone.
Again, you are a minority. As a man, you are a minority. Majority of dudes ain't getting broads. Right, but what I'm saying is the majority of dudes still, no matter how you look at it, they're not getting that type of motion, bro. And especially if they're already married. So still understand that was the reason why the nigga actually got married for the most part is because he like, I'm settling down because the last time I did this stupid ass shit, found out I married, to your point, a goofy ass broad. Then they end up learning and stuff like that. That's why, now motherfuckers got to get older and shit now before they get married because look at what's happening now. They doing all kind of goofy shit. Girl, I'm going to tell you this how I look at it. Girls trips is a goofy ass thing now. It's goofy as fuck. Like I said before, if you talk to girls, especially the ones that don't go outside all the time, they guess what end up happening? They're not covered. They go back, they ain't got no money, and they go in there, they ain't got no money. Their ass is half-assed. They didn't pack the right shit. Some girls get all the way to the goddamn shit, and they ain't got their goddamn passport. So they just fucked it up for everybody. It's always some bullshit that goes down when it comes down to them girls.
So are we talking about like our age, or are we talking about 20-year-olds? Because if you talking about like 20-something-year-olds, I'm with you.
Yeah,
I'm on the panel with men that's 30 plus. So
we talk about the young chicks, we talk about the young chicks, and then we talk about the chicks that's trying to revive their career at 45, 48.
No, listen, I'm talking about all of them.
All of them are like children. I don't give a fuck what age they are.
Listen, I don't care.
If she was 19 when she had that baby, she's still 19 at 40 years old. That's how it is.
I'm gonna give you a perfect example. We all been to the club, right? And we know majority of the women in the club what they in there for, right? But we all have seen that clique of chicks who ain't in there on that. Because we as single niggas hate them motherfuckers. Them motherfuckers, I'm not here for that. So what I'm saying is it depends on who you messing with. Like I said, I've been in the club and you try to, give her and she, no, just for my friend, just for my so it exists, is what I'm saying.
Tommy, let me say this. Tommy. Let me say this. It don't when guys say you should know who you mess with, you never know. You never know what
No,
your wife will do.
I get that.
Let me just say this. Before I got married, I used to hang out with my homeboys and go to the clubs a lot, all the time. I used to be in the street. I used to, you know what I'm saying? But the reason why I don't do it now, and just like you, Tommy, look, that doesn't mean that it's a guarantee I'm finna hook up with somebody, or you know what I'm saying? I'm capable of going to the club and being on my best behavior. But all it takes is one time. So that's why I said, to eliminate confusion. I'm married. I'm married now, I don't go to clubs no more. I don't do that shit. You know what I'm saying? So the thing with my wife. I pretty much, I don't know nobody knows nobody what nobody would do 100% of the time. But I feel what you're saying, Tommy. I'm a good judge of my wife's character. I am. But at the same time, right? When that liquor involved,
man,
and when you got stimulus and influences and
But
other
hold on,
influence,
but Freezy, that too goes to who she going. If she going with her cousin that's throwing that thing back every weekend, and we laying in bed talking about how crazy she is, that's on you. For you feel me? But if she going with her level-headed partners that don't be on none of that bullshit, that be in the house or whatever, then I'm not about to knock that. You feel like come on, dog. If she with her partners that we all like, if the homies know that her partner is you like. Nah, you ain't doing that. That's out.
That's the thing. How you gonna know? How you gonna be 100%? You don't see, now we trying to say we know all her partners. We just don't know.
Shit, I do.
Man, bro, you know how many, bro, when I was in school.
Bro, that's gonna go on a girls trip? That's gonna go out of the country?
They might be meeting some girls.
I don't know about y'all.
They might be meeting some girls from Alaska.
Listen,
no, you ain't going with a stranger.
From high school.
You're not going with a stranger.
I don't know about y'all.
No. Oh, go ahead. I'm sorry, Freezy.
I don't know about y'all, but man, I done been with some girls who you wouldn't think would mess up the church's money. Well, I'm telling you something.
Absolutely, 100%.
Listen, I done been with some girls who they be on their best behavior, you know what I'm saying, around people. But dog, I done had sex with niggas' wives. I'm telling you, I'm
with you 100% on that though, Freezy. But what I'm saying is,
you be surprised what some of them goody two-shoe girls.
No, I wouldn't. Look, listen, that's what broke the mold to me. Like I'm telling you, it was one that I like in my head. I would never, ever, ever would have thought that way. It was like, wait, you? So no, I'm with you on that. But at the end of the day, if you're gonna have a relationship with somebody, it got to be a level of trust. Because at the end of the day, it can happen in the work parking lot. It can happen, at a whole, like if it's gonna happen, it don't matter where it's gonna happen. Like he just said, a motherfucker was out there with his wife and they went to the bathroom on him. Like if it's gonna happen, it's gonna happen.
But you can't.
Not allowing them to go on the trip ain't gonna stop shit. It's gonna change the location. That's it.
But you can't eliminate. Eliminate a level of temptation, though. You can't eliminate a level of temptation.
I can't even say that though, Freezy, because if you messing with a chick that's looking like something, that shit just always gonna be there. So either you gonna mess with a mud duck or you just gonna have to deal with that, my nigga. I don't deal with chicks that ain't getting popped at. Period, point blank. It just don't happen.
But at the same time, you gotta make sure that chick's got some discernment about her.
No, that's why I say
that's very important. You got to know.
That's why I say about knowing who you're dealing with.
Oh, but
the temptation, unless you mess with a mud duck, the temptation always gonna be there. That's my point. Of if it's gonna happen, it's gonna happen. I don't care if it's at work. I don't care if it's on at Walmart. I don't care if it's at the gas station. If your chick look a certain way, if I'm walking around single and your chick look a certain way, nigga, I don't know you. I'm popping.
So, like I said,
where do you think the phrase comes from? You can't have a friend. Come on, y'all know about that one. You can't have a friend. We always try to slide that one in there. You feel me? But that's what's always thrown out there. So I get what you're saying, but if you mess with somebody that look a certain type of way, the temptation always.
Let me ask you this, Tommy. If you know your girl, and then she came to you and said, now you know your girl for the most part, she you know her character. But she came to you and said, Tommy, my homegirl's having a strip party with male strippers and stuff. Would you let her go?
You want to be 100 with you?
Yeah.
My first BM, I let her go to the motherfuckers. God.
See,
Bro, if I can't trust you, I'm just not gonna be with you. I'm gonna be $1,000 with you. Period, point blank. If I can't trust you, I won't be with
you. Hell no.
I'm not gonna allow no nigga to put his dick on your forehead. It's not going down.
Yeah, I ain't go that far. But you feel me? It is what it is.
Hey,
them niggas be doing some crazy shit.
She better not. She better not ask me. Can she go? It's gonna be problem.
Hey, listen, I tell motherfuckers straight up. Hey, listen, I tell motherfuckers straight up. If you gonna do what you do, just be good at it. That's it, because I know I can't control the shit. I can tell you where to go. I can tell you go up, down, left, right. I can tell you go diagonal. I can tell you everything in the world what to do. But if she always gonna have that sliver of a moment. If she want to, she can get it in. Period, point blank. If you ever worked at a warehouse, you can see what happened in them back alleys. It can happen.
But sometimes you gotta. Sometimes we gotta protect our women from themselves.
Yeah.
But see, that's that again. And see, the reason why I brought up me having motions, it wasn't to talk about me more to say it's me. Like I said, most dudes, what we talk about around this motherfucker, dick this, playing this, dick this, playing that, and I'm like, okay, so we talk about that, but if I'm sitting there telling you that I can be offered the shit and not take it, and men are generally looked at as, oh, we're the hunters, oh, we da-da-da, then how could you then have a frame of mind of, oh, they can't control themselves? Oh, I can
tell you, Tommy. I can tell you in a couple of words, because they don't take on any accountability. They don't. They don't.
They can't control themselves. I'm telling you.
They need us to take care of their ass and make those damn decisions. I'm with Freezy on that.
Okay, so that's okay, guys. I'm gonna get Hink on the big screen here. Hink, if your woman say, "Hey, baby, I'm going out this weekend, and it's gonna be with the Mandingos of the Netherlands gonna be here, and I'm going with my friends," what are you saying?
Oh, you're crazy as hell. Goddamn well, you're a fool for this bullshit, man. You a fool to put your woman in that situation like that. Look here, we all know you know these girls, they go on these girls trips. You don't know everybody on that girls trip, right? She tell you the people that she knows going, but guess what? It's always a friend of a friend who's always going, and she's that freaky one who's going to try to tempt y'all to do some certain things, get y'all to drink, get y'all to smoke, doing these extra shit. And I'll say, well, we're going to be around each other all the time. I said, first of all, y'all not going to be on each other 24/7. Because what if a girl gone, all of a sudden, she gone, I ain't seen the last 20, 30 minutes. She done got knocked down now. The waiter done came through and dicked it down. Then what? Now y'all looking for her, trying to get up. We got to get back and catch his plane. We running late because her ass still ain't woke up. She's hung over in the dude's room. Oh, hell no, we ain't doing that. None of that stripper shit, ain't none of that going down. Again, y'all call me a goddamn dictator all you want. Y'all kiss my ass. The rest ain't what happened in my house. If you my wife, we not roll like it. Now, if you my woman, fuck you. I'm gonna move on to the next. And leave your ass at that goddamn stripper pole that you ass hanging out at.
So he
ain't doing this shit.
So give me your final thoughts for tonight, brother.
Hey man, y'all black man better protect yourself from these crazy ass heifers. That's what you better do. Man, hey, have the hard conversation, know what you're dealing with, investigate, interrogate, get every bit of information you know. Scour her social media, her Facebook, her Instagram, her Twitter, her Twitch, whatever. She has a problem with it, so be it. Say, baby, I need to know what I'm dealing. I gotta know what I'm investing in. I don't believe in making bad investments.
So
I'm not a fan of that shit.
So before you go, give some insight to the guys out there right now. Give them your thoughts, because I'm gonna clip this. So give them your thoughts on girls' trips, and give them your thoughts on trusting a woman, but specifically the girls' trips.
I'm not a fan of the girls' trip at all. You're a goddamn fool if you allow your wife to go on a goddamn girl trip. You're a goddamn fool. You're signing yourself up for a loss. Because when she come back with that man meat juice in her mouth and you kiss her and welcome them back while you picking up a luggage up from the plane, you're gonna be mad as hell. So don't put yourself through that bullshit. Don't do it. She talking about going on a trip. It's gonna be a couple trips. Me and you going together. Matter of fact, we all could go. And if you ain't got a man, then you don't need to be with us. You keep your single ass at home or go on a girl trip with another set of fools. Because that ain't how we roll. Now, what was your other question, Black Man? I'm sorry.
And about the show overall tonight, what are your thoughts? Your final
Man,
thoughts?
it's always a good show when we on that Talk Tuesday, baby. It's always a good show. We got some good people up here. The ladies was up here earlier, spitting game, sharing some knowledge. You know what I'm saying? Us men on a late night, spend some late night knowledge. Hopefully these women and these men out here listen to it. Hopefully they taking some notes, and maybe they need to have some tough conversations, even if they're already married. Don't mean you can't have that tough conversation with your spouse. Just have it and deal with the results. You know what I'm saying? Deal with the answers. If you don't like them, then you have to make an adjustment. If you do like them, hey, keep it moving.
And no male friends, correct?
Oh, no, we're not having this. Her male friends going to be my friends. I'm going to know them. She going to know mine. No problem with that. I don't have no problem as long as I know who I'm dealing with. I need to know the history of it. How'd y'all meet? You know what I'm saying? Did y'all have a sexual relationship? Or if you had a sexual relationship, it's over. He can't be a male friend anymore. If I find out y'all had a sexual relationship, nope. No, sir. No, sir. He got to go. He better live off in memories too.
Anything else you want to? Oh, he go ahead. Shout out your channel. Shout out your channel.
Hey, man, come over and see me in the basement, man. Look here. My man Tommy B came over talk about some sports. He talked about his sorry ass Raiders, but he was cheering against the 49ers. So congratulations to his team he hates so much. But come on, see me at the basement, man. Mondays and we talk about that sports and sports recap. Wednesday we got that man talk. Now, unfortunately, this Wednesday I ain't gonna have a show because my son got a game. But I definitely will get back with y'all next Wednesday. Check me out in the basement. It's called Hink at the Basement, man. Check me out. Or you can find me on IG at Hink75. Also, my page IG, my other IG is the basement with Hink _ You know, all that other bullshit is real long, so please forgive me. But that's what it was available. But check me out Mondays and Wednesdays, man. At 7 p.m. Eastern, 6 p.m. Central.
And what's your Super Bowl? And what's your Super Bowl prediction before you go?
I'm riding with Philly, man. Jalen Hurts is that dude. You know, he's that dude. And I think 31-16 is what I predicted on Monday. So I'm gonna still ride with that. I don't see nothing that's gonna change my mind. So
all right, man. Appreciate you, brother. And y'all see it right there at the bottom right here. Subscribe to Hink at the Basement channel. There it is right there. Go and subscribe right now and turn that notification button on so y'all know when he go live, man. Appreciate you so much, Hink, man.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
All right, man. Let me get everybody else back up here. Oh man, Hink had you rolling, boy. So let me get my boy Freeze and come on with it.
Man, listen, my wife ain't gonna get that meat juice on her forehead, like Hink said. That meat juice, man. But no, man, listen, man. My first priority is to protect my house, and that's what I'm gonna do. And you know, listen, I'm gonna protect. Listen, my job is to know my wife better than she know her damn self. You know, just trust me on this, baby. Don't worry about it. We gonna be all right. You don't need that girl trip. You got me. Don't worry about that. Okay, and you know the devil is busy. He walks to and fro everywhere he go, looking to seek and devour whoever he may so, right? So you know, my job is to keep my wife under my protection. I'm gonna feel so bad. You know, let's X out the sexual part of it, right? I'm gonna feel bad if something happens to my wife on a girl's trip. You understand? Like physically or you know, medically, if something happened and she was not under my covering, which I know they're not gonna always be under your covering, but if it's an environment where I know she really didn't have to attend and didn't have to be at like that, you know, nah, you know, I'm gonna feel like I dropped the ball. So the best thing to do is if your wife feels the need to go on girl trip, I think that she wasn't, and this is just my opinion. She wasn't ready to get married. You know what I'm saying? Like, and to me, that's a woman that still wants the best of both worlds. She wants to be married and still live like she's single every now and then, not all the time, but every now and then she want to live like she's single. You know what I'm saying? And I'm not signing up for that because two can play that game, can't a gentleman? I mean, I can do it too. You know what I'm saying? But you know that's when the complications like I said earlier in the show, that's when the complications start because see then when she go on the girls trip, now I'm being deceptive by telling her, you remember when you went on that girls trip? Yeah, it's my turn now. See, now we going back and forth. Now we playing, it's just it ain't gonna be right. So to avoid all of that confusion, let's try to build our marriage up within our marriage, not outside of our marriage, let's build each other up within our marriage and find even if we don't have a commonality between each other, let's find some. That's the beautiful thing about marriage. It's a journey. It's just like growing together. That's the beautiful thing about marriage, So if there's any void in our relationship, let's fill it. That's why we married. Guess what? We got a lifetime to figure this shit out. So you ain't gonna work. You ain't gonna think about that girl's trip. After I put this meat juice on you, you're gonna get freezing meat juice. You know what I'm saying? You gonna get that other guy meat juice. Shout out to Hink, man. Meat juice. Get me a t-shirt.
Yeah,
meat juice. Yeah.
Man, appreciate it, man. Hey, y'all see the link down at the bottom, man. Please go and support Freezy, man. Go over to his channel. Make sure you guys like, subscribe over there, and support this man. Man, y'all got me over here crying in tears tonight. You, Tommy B, and that damn Hink, man. Oh my God, bro. Anyway, I appreciate you, man. Thank you for being here tonight, brother. I see you backstage. You gonna stay? I gotta tell you,
yeah. Love y'all, man.
Stay back there, Mr. Bennett. What are your final thoughts, Mr. Bennett? Talk to me.
I can't. How are we talking? Oh man! All right. Let's bring this back to where we started here.
Yeah.
Right. Privacy. I do think that I think there's room. I do think there's room for that. I really do. I think especially when it comes to protecting information of others, your family, friends, people who you have, especially counseling relationships with. I don't think that you necessarily have to know everything. But again, if asked, I think that the door has to be open. If I make an inquiry, I think there should be honesty and transparency always to anything that I may ask for. But again, I'm not a dumpster diver. I just never believed in that. I'm not looking, checking your DMs every 2 minutes or anything like that. At the end of the day, trust has to be paramount. If I can't trust you, then that's a problem in and of itself. So, I think, but allowing people to be themselves, giving them their spaces to enjoy the things that they enjoy, you don't have to necessarily be dragged along on the trip all the time. Again, you should be able to give some grace and some freedoms to to your partner to enjoy those things they like to enjoy. Oftentimes with the people they like to enjoy them with. If that's not you, you create the spaces where necessary, but it doesn't have to be that way all the time. And again, I think I agree with what Brother Sohail said earlier, that trying to put the burden on your spouse to be your best friend. There's just certain conversations I have with my boys that I just don't have my wife, because one, she has no interest in what we're talking about, or just does is uncomfortable in the conversation. I don't force her to be there. So I think trust has to be a part of this as well. I know we're talking about protection and all that, but again, if you can't trust the person that you're with, there's problems built in that doesn't matter if you're together in the same house. You got a lot of people got divorced during COVID, right? Stuck in the house with one another. So again, if you don't figure out who you guys are and learn how to live together, being apart is not going to make that much of a difference. So that's all I got tonight. I'm going to try to get these ideas that you guys have been pouring out of my head. I'm going to try to think of more happier thoughts. But I got nothing else. I got nothing else, guys. Thank you very
Mr.
much.
Bennett, I got one more thought for you, Mr. Bennett.
Go for it.
What if your wife came to you and said, you know what, baby? I think that you're a very handsome man. How about you just baby all up and just strip for me and the ladies tonight?
For the ladies, nah. For your eyes only. I'll put the baby.
Oh,
baby oil, coconut oil, Wesson oil, peanut oil.
I'm trying to figure out a stripper named Bend It Bennett.
Bend it like Bennett. There you go.
Yeah. Well, ladies and gentlemen, coming to the stage tonight, Bend It Bennett. Thank you, Mr. Bennett. Go ahead, Tommy. I can't talk. Oh Lord.
I get the perspective from some of the cats. You feel me? I may not, you feel me, rock the way that they rock, but I get the perspective. I'm not acting like I'm naive or whatever to the shit or whatever.
Right.
I'm just under the guise. Just how I rock is, if I don't feel like I can trust you, there ain't no reason being with you. Just to be keeping it that way. Like, it's just how I understand it. And again, if I'm gonna be cool with you, doing that, I'm gonna know who you're going with. It ain't gonna be no, oh, what's her name? But no, I'm knowing everybody that's on that trip. You feel me? So we gotta understand that shit. I just thought, like I said, I brought up that situation as far as with me because, again, like we always talk about, if the dude is the hunter and he's always out there, this and that, and if he can control himself with it being thrown at him, then how can a female do it like that? That's the part that I was losing. And I get some of the responses and stuff, but again, like I said, most of the ones that you see out there wilding out like that, it's not a surprise. When you go to see social media, it's not like you like, oh my God, like it's pretty well advertised, whether they got to do it or not. You know what I'm saying? And they accept that or whatever. But I wish I was on a little bit earlier with the guy friend thing, because a funny thing happened with that.
Oh,
I was explaining this situation to a lady friend, my kid's mom, and it's funny because literally within weeks of me explaining the situation to her, both the niggas, shot they shot lightweight.
Wow.
And she was looking at me like, oh shit. And I'm like, I'm not just talking just to breathe. You feel me? Like, you know what I'm saying? And I mean, it was on some shit where, you feel me, she wasn't fucking with them niggas like that anyway. But yeah, it's one of those things where, it kind of, the lesson was learned in real time. You know what I'm saying? Like, and I explained to her, even from talking to cats on here, like, niggas are hanging around for a year. You know what I'm saying? To try to, I said, I'm not one of them ones, but there is niggas out there that are 1, 2, 3 years. It's weird to me, but they out there. And as far as the secret thing, I always told, females would even like to going through the phone thing. What I never liked about it is because if like the homie hit you up on some personal thing, if he done cheated on his wife, if he didn't, I didn't even had a homie hit me up talking about he thought he got burnt and he was married. And, he's fucking around, like, that ain't your business. So if you go through my phone and you see this man's business and his wife, now you put yourself in a predicament that you should have never even been in, because ain't none of your fucking business. You know what I'm saying? So as far as that type of shit, absolutely it's secrets, because that's not my business to tell you. That's somebody else's business. So technically it'd be considered a secret, but that's some shit that you shouldn't even know in the first place or whatever. But overall, I mean, I can't really think of too much stuff that I wouldn't tell a mate, to be honest with you. I mean, it's shit outside of somebody else's business. Ain't really nothing else I could really, too much hide. You know what I'm saying? So that's my take on all that. Solid show as usual though.
I appreciate you, bro. I'll see you in the back. What's up, girl? What's up? Hey, girl. What's up? Look at her.
Mouthful of cookies.
Mouthful of cookies. All right, my brother. All right, man. Last but not least at all, man, my brother. What's going on?
Hey, great show, bro. Great show. Yeah, I'm not with the girls trip. Shit. Maybe it's because of my goddamn imagination, because all I'm thinking is Dexter putting this dick on your forehead now. So we're gonna mitigate that shit. We gonna do couples trip. That's the new in shit. That's the cool shit now.
Right.
You know, if you want to be cool, then you got to get either married or have a good relationship with your person, and y'all can go on these couples trips. Damn all that girl trip and all that bullshit. Nobody putting their dick on your forehead. I'm about to go out here and cuss her ass out as soon as I get off this show. For some shit she ain't even did. But you know, putting it back in perspective on the topic of the show, privacy. Yeah, man. There should be privacy, but in the context on how we were speaking earlier, there should not be secret. I think Mandrell put that, you know, great. Privacy, you know, and that still has an extent, you know, to an extent, but no secrets.
Right.
I know in the past probably 6 years, man, I've been to a lot of funerals. And I think the saddest part about going to these funerals is how they left their life. How they left their life. You know, you had people that done had significant others, about 3 or 4 of them. 3 or 4 significant others, you know. They got policies that can't nobody get to because then nobody know that they had a insurance policy but themselves. You know, they had, you know, money in bank accounts that can't nobody get to because don't nobody know that they even got those bank accounts because they ain't told nobody shit. So, you know, that's where we go to this whole point of you got to take being together serious. And I think to the point of marriage, like your platform, my platform, and a lot of these platforms, we got to start pushing that shit, man. And not just the fact of marrying somebody just for the fact of, you know, the sake of marrying them, but to build something with them. And one of the things in building something with someone is that you do have to eventually get to the point where they know all of their affairs, because if it's yours and you marry them, those affairs are theirs also. We don't know. Life is not promised to us tomorrow. So we have to start looking at it practically to that point when it you know, from the privacy and secret aspect. I think we got to start taking this stuff a lot seriously, and this is basically a message to the younger folks that's actually still out here in the game and that's actually want to be married, or they want to have a better life than what they're going to eventually have. That should look goofy as hell to be 60 years old and you still in the fucking club.
Yep.
She looks goofy as hell to be 60 years old and you have no one living with you. It looks goofy.
Can you read that for us before you leave?
Yeah, Black Man Unfiltered Network. Black David has cooked cocked-eyed roosters on sale for $22.99. Number 1, Black man. Don't start. I love you, Black David, man.
I love you too, my brother. That's my brother, man. All right, I know he needs that laugh, man. I'm gonna give him that laugh tonight. All right, my brother. But yeah, I appreciate you, man. And thank you for being here, guys. And if you guys need any cockeyed roosters, Black David, inbox Black David. 2 for $22.99. I'll see you backstage, my brother.
Hey, hold on. Let me shout out my channel also, man.
Yeah. My bad. Go ahead.
Podcast with me and my boy Rob. And also that was me earlier with Let Me Expound. That is my my automated channel. That channel is not, you're not going to see me. You're just going to see a lot of information that I put out there on billionaires and multi-billionaire companies and stuff like that. I just dropped a video on Elon Musk tonight. I did another one a couple of nights ago on the other brother that did. I didn't do what's the other guy name? I can't remember his damn name. But if you go on Let Me Expound, you will see a bunch of videos of Chick-fil-A. I got another one that I did on just other restaurants and stuff like that, man. It's a dope ass, it's an informational channel. But again, that's Let Me Expound. Also, What We Know podcast with me and my boy Rob. Hey man, I enjoyed it. And
I'll see you
next
bro.
match.
Yes, sir. All right, man. Thank you guys again for being here, man. I won't hold y'all any longer than we've already held you. I just want to say thank you to everybody, because I always got to say that, because you guys you mean the world, man. Without you guys, this network would not be where it is today. So I really, really appreciate the you guys coming in, and I also appreciate everything that you give to the platform. So thank you guys, man. We'll see you guys tomorrow for the sports show at 7, and then following that will be Unapologetic with Mandrell and Shushu at 8:30 Central Standard Time as well. All right, you guys come over and support the sports show as well. They be getting it in, so we'll definitely see you guys tomorrow for 7 p.m. Central Standard Time, and then the sports show. That's the sports show. Then 8:30 p.m. Central Standard Time for Unapologetic with Mandrell and Shushu. All right, we love you guys, and we at this thing. Peace.